All right, we are beginning. It is beginning times now. I see all. Okay, so when last we left off, Clementine had just accepted a clandestine deal from an absolutely not creepy not witch, and Salandra and Nikolai had solicited an absolutely not shady activity from an absolutely not shady not politician. Are we all up to speed? What the hell was that?
I have no idea. Is it like a fan? It's not my air conditioner, is it?
No, Dave, do you have some sort of mechanical snake slithering around?
No.
Okay.
It sounds like
Here,
a.
let me mute myself real quick.
I'll mute myself.
No, I want to see if it's me,
Oh,
because
sorry.
if it's not,
No, I'm positive it's Dave.
Yeah, it's definitely coming through on Dave's end. Do you have an oscillating fan in there?
Did it get better?
No, now it got
Oh,
worse.
That's worse now.
Huh. All right, hold on a sec. How about now?
Yep, that was it.
Great.
It's better now.
Huh. Yeah, it's my air conditioning unit.
Okay, no, don't cook yourself on our accord. It's fine. I was just wondering what the hell it was, because it's just a
Yeah.
weird noise to suddenly hear
But-
and then stop hearing.
It's funny because it's been running the whole time.
That's weird. That's weird, man.
That's the reason why I wasn't like, why are they hearing this now? That was maybe my beard.
I don't know. Well, don't sweat it. All right.
Literally.
Literally.
Uh,
You guys are all fired. That's it. Game over. Fuck. All right. So I am going to assert that you all reconvene after you get your respective jobs. You just pass each other in the streets. Might be a big city, but you know, I'm gonna.
we both
I've-
had some idea of where the other was going, so.
we were gonna meet up after a certain number of hours anyway.
I've been piling coincidence on top of coincidence this entire game. You really think I'm gonna stop right now?
Blah blah blah. Strings of fate. Blah blah.
Blah blah blah. Gods are real.
High gold.
It'd be nice if our characters were experienced and professional enough to actually plan a meeting, but yeah.
Look at me. Like that.
Oh shit, apparently Pathfinder has an alien bestiary. Moving on. So, you guys convene and reconnoiter. Now this is not necessarily convenient, it's just because they're all over the place. There is a tavern nearby that you guys can duck into if you don't want to talk about what you're doing on the street.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Like, there is a tavern
No open air
everywhere.
cafes.
If you want an open air cafe, it's an open air cafe.
Yes, if Salandra discovered that there were places where they sold coffee, like that wasn't sort of scraped from the bottom of someone's
Rusty bucket.
yeah,
Holy shit.
she would be very excited about the whole cafe thing.
You hit the jackpot. There's a little place called the Golden Fang. The street outside is crowded with a few people who are performing acts of entertainment. There is a puppet show nearby. But it is a single-story stone building with tables and chairs outside to accommodate the beautiful District 3 weather. And Salandra, your elven eyes see, a menu on the outside, a large slate, and written upon it in chalk is not just coffee, but different kinds of coffees.
They have different kinds of coffee. Salandra sort of stops and stares. She's
You all right
just,
there?
they have different types. Let's go here.
Okay.
Okay.
It's very exciting. I hope there aren't any mimes in that crowd, though. That would be very distressing.
Thankfully, there are no mimes.
Good, good.
Wind City had the decency to outlaw mimes over 100 generations ago. No.
Not 100 years ago, 100 generations
ago. 20,000 years ago, they saw the first person do a mime, and they were like, "Get the fuck out! Get out!"
Yep, this is not allowed.
That being said, I have some bad news concerning District 6 and District 4. Mimes everywhere.
Yeah, it's in District 2. Like no one would waste their time, so there are better things to do.
In any event, you
no
find
mime time.
No mime time. It's mime time, baby. No, you find a table with no one else at it, and you take a seat.
This is very exciting.
Eventually, a rather old dwarf, gender indeterminate, walks forward with a notepad of paper. And what do you like?
This one says berry, and this is confusing. What's good?
Can we get a cup of every kind of the coffee?
If you've got the money for it, yes. Is that one cup of coffee, one of each of the types for the table, or one of each of the types for all of you?
For the table, we'll share.
Okay. Yeah, I can
Yes, for the table.
make that happen. I do warn, it will cost you about 15 pieces of gold.
All right, guys, we got to make some sacrifices. Let's choose your 3 favorite.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do that, and I assume that you'll all be sharing. Naturally, my favorites are the ones that taste the best, and because they taste the best, they're the most expensive. So that'll be down to about 7.
We can do that.
We can handle that.
Very well, then. And she goes inside. And she comes back out. And she presents three fine pewter mugs for everybody. One of which has a black liquid, one of which contains a brown liquid, and one of which contains a white liquid.
White?
White. You have never seen white coffee.
Blonde roast?
This is very confusing.
Try it. See what you like.
All right, I'm gonna try the white just out of curiosity because it's like,
It tastes like the bitterest blueberry cream you've ever had. It's very good. Like it's
not quite bitter enough though.
No, definitely not.
I'm gonna go to the black.
All right, you go for the black. This is definitely very, very bitter, very strong. It is what someone would refer to affectionately as a strong dark roast. The dwarf explains that the white milky one, the proprietor says that it's a chosen recipe, but that's obviously fake. We hear that I have heard from one of the Ankarans that they're the ones who make it. Although, not too long after that, a Janamian asserted that the Ankarans had stole it from them first. The one that you're drinking now gets brewed in the Hell Jungle down there. The owner, Daga, she's got a friend down there who makes it and sends it back up here for a fair price, for a fair penny.
Salandra's really thinking that she needs a cigarette too.
I mean, it's not a non-smoking section. There are no non-smoking sections.
So you see the look of the purest happiness you've seen on Solandra's face so far.
See, this is a nice district.
If I understood her correctly, this is from the Hell Jungle. And this is
I
from
might
District
take it
2.
with a grain of salt.
Do you want to try?
Are you referring to the coffee?
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, yeah, sure. I was like, Clementine's not much of a smoker.
No, Clementine consumes other substances.
Yes, exactly. She tries the black coffee. It's like, oh,
It is too much
Wow.
for your halfling sensibilities. Halflings prefer hearty flavors.
I'm gonna give the brown coffee a try.
It is a perfectly serviceable cup of coffee.
Nice.
It is the if the white stuff is a bed too soft and the black stuff is a bed too hard, this is Goldilocks is just right. You recognize this? It's the coffee that they make in the district, actually.
Nice. I'm gonna also try some of the white coffee.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, try some.
Holds up a hand like, not my thing. Thank you, though. What he will do is pay for the coffee.
What, Holt? You don't like your uppers?
I don't like to mix my uppers with my uppers.
That's a very wise decision. I think if you were,
Alright.
I think if you were too heavily caffeinated, taking some bleeding heart would kill you.
Probably.
But anyway, now that you're all satisfied with your beverages,
So, any luck finding work?
Yes, actually.
That's not that morally objectionable, hopefully.
Well, as with all things in life, morals are a matter of relativity and perspective. And I think, personally, as far as things go, this could be a lot worse.
It's interesting to hear you say that.
So, do you guys know what hate marrow is?
I don't think so.
It's okay. So, when someone is hanged and they bury them with the noose, they come back as what's called a morgue, and then inside their bones is hate marrow. So we gotta get some of that, like 3 people's worth. But think of it this way. You are going to be doing the realm a favor, because those guys could probably be pretty dangerous if they went up and about. So, she gives a thumbs up.
Why do
Someone-
they bury these guys?
in the graveyard.
I have a sinking suspicion.
I'd like to hear you say it.
The graveyard.
Right?
Is it also a fair bet that in order to find these guys, we may have to deal with other things in the graveyard?
Definitely possible.
So, what exactly does one use one of these hearts for? What would this be? Arcana?
If you had
Logic?
let me look at the list of knowledges. knowledge. Religion is the knowledge of the undead.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, that's one of Solandra's strong suits.
Oh yeah, you love religion. It's great. That being said, Clementine, you know of someone who has a lot of religious knowledge.
My library buddy?
Your library buddy.
Study buddy. So I do know somebody that we could meet up with who might be able to give us some more information.
Who?
A really, really nice guy. His name's Alexander. He's a monk actually.
A
We've
monk?
spent a lot of time together studying.
You would recognize that if this is a monk in District 3, Clementine is probably referring to the group of monks that composes part of the governing body.
Okay.
From your dealings in your attempt to join the Holy Guard. I say attempt, more like theft of training and subsequent departure.
Subsequent dismissal.
Summary dismissal. Fuck you guys.
Yep.
I want to make money.
Yeah. You don't think it's a bad idea to go to someone in deep with the governing body when we're doing such clandestine things as sneaking into the graveyard and robbing bodies?
Oh, not at all.
Also, who says you're
Okay.
sneaking in?
Oh, sorry, were you being sarcastic? No, he's a great guy. We read a lot together. He's one of those types that is like, knowledge for everybody, even if you maybe shouldn't know it.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, great guy. I think you'll like him, Salandra.
They have libraries here, don't they?
They
Yeah,
do.
they do.
Very large ones.
Oh, yeah, it's raising money. That's right. I'm supposed to be raising money in libraries.
What the hell?
But what did you guys find?
Slime?
Yeah, that's the thing about this place.
What? It's clean.
Physically,
Some of the people
yes.
aren't. We ran across a political sort that wants one of his rivals to be late to the next vote.
Oh, that kind of slime.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. When's the next vote?
In 3 days.
3 days.
Well, I guess that gives us time to do some sort of research, but we don't have
Did
it.
your job have a due date on it, Clementine?
Not a strong one. I feel as though we could do your thing first.
Oh, we could, huh?
I mean, I think it would be a good idea at least for me to go to the library, try and track down Alexander, see if he may have some information. And yeah, but I'm totally up to help you guys. I'm just I I don't have much head for that political stuff.
That's alright. It shouldn't be too hard. I think that the possibility of fighting undead you should figure out as much as you can.
All right.
Yes, if you go to the library, I'd be happy to come along with that.
Wonderful.
Do you have to pay to go in?
Knowledge local. Do I?
You succeed. No, you don't need to pay to go into the monk's library, but attempting to steal anything would be a crime that would be heavily punished. But no.
We can't check out books, but we can go in and read as much as we want inside.
Mm.
And Alexander sometimes lets me stay in there overnight. I'm not a very fast reader, so that's how I get a lot of my work done.
You have spent nights on the warm and welcoming and soft carpet.
Mm-hmm. Plenty.
Yeah, a lot of the books in Salandra's own personal library were salvaged from trash. So
You have found some
This will be a-
interesting things. Unfortunately, many of them are written in a language that you do not understand. I don't want to say many. A few. There are a few books that you have found with, sheer black covers and no text on the outside, and when you look inside, it's just chicken scratch.
though possibly those could sell for money here.
This is true. In any event, to the library?
Holt?
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Wonderful. You guys will like it.
Yeah, so Salandra's moral is like going to the library, good. Not wanting to deal with the whole like weird political thing.
We don't have to get involved in the actual politics. We're just,
I know I said I don't have much head for political stuff, but I think if you're preventing someone from voting, you're already getting involved in it.
what I'm saying is we don't have to participate in the debate.
Oh, because it's much wiser to just choose a side without. Sorry.
I'm not being
That's-
paid to choose a side.
You're right. And it's not my place.
It's alright. It's okay.
I mean, I hate to rain on your parade, but you have literally been paid to choose a side.
Just getting some money.
Just doing
Don't
it for
try
the money.
to be my Jiminy Cricket.
I am everyone's Jiminy Cricket. Speaking of Jiminy Cricket and Disney, welcome to the Great Library.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Oh, holy fuck.
There are lots of robed figures going to and fro. Many of them have their cowls up, others have their cowls down. Those with their cowls down reveal a variety of races, mostly elves and humans, but the occasional half-orc and the even rarer hobgoblin.
Do I spot Alexander immediately?
Yes. Alexander's form is a particularly unique one, and his robe is of a particularly unique blue hue. A faded blue. His hood is down. His hands are wrapped into his sleeves.
So you kind of lost Salandra. She's like, sort of fluttering around, looking at things. It's like,
Clementine pulls very gently at her sleeve.
Mhm.
Salandra,
what?
I don't want to think the worst of anybody, but they really, 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 really watch the books closely.
I wasn't gonna take anything.
No, just as a point of interest.
Mhm.
She then do you want to come meet Alexander?
Uh, I guess.
She guides you two on
Mhm.
over to her buddy.
Before you say anything, as you approach him,
It's like-
Alexander turns on a heel to look at all of you.
It's Salandra's just sort of like looking around. It's like this is more books than she's seen in her entire life, so she's pretty excited.
Ah, Clementine. I see that
Hello.
you've made friends.
2. This is Salandra and Holt.
Good day.
For the first time in your entire time knowing him, you see the hands underneath the sleeves. They have 3 fingers. 3 fingers and white gloves. He extends one to each Halt and Salandra.
Okay.
His hand.
It is nice to meet you. But Clementine, you never come to me without cause.
So is he extending his hands for us to shake, or is he giving us white gloves to wear?
Oh no, he is extending his hand to shake.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Good. I'm glad
I was
read
misreading that.
Well, it's a kind of a personal interest project, and a little bit of anxiety too. So Holt and Salandra have been talking to some people in the area about the political situation. And sorry, out of character for a sec. Did you I don't want to meta. Did you guys tell Clementine what the vote was about?
No.
Okay, never mind. Retcon.
Yeah, I think I've been just trying to avoid it, but yeah, it's a good. This guy might be a good resource. Since I lost my stuff from last week, I don't remember the names of either the guy who gave us the job or
The guy didn't give us his name. The name of the senator that we're looking for is Fulmar or Warren. Some lady
Just some
who
elven
seems
lady.
to think that there's an undead threat gonna come out of the graveyard. Oh, it's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
This is a pretty fucking brilliant library you've got here.
Thank you. We've accumulated knowledge for a very long time, and we distribute that knowledge to all who wish it.
That seems like a good idea.
He reaches up onto a shelf. Perhaps I can interest you in a text on elven history.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. But I'm more into more esoteric things.
Oh. Anything of particular interest?
Well, I think that at the moment we're looking for some information on the undead. Not something I spent a lot of time studying, but wasn't really relevant where I grew up, but sounds like something that might be useful in the future.
We may be having to pass through the graveyard in our travels, and I've been trying to figure out some things about morgues.
I see. Dangerous. Very dangerous things. The noose that they are buried with takes on a sort of fleshy appearance. It can be used to instill those that the morgue despise with an intense and immense fear of death, ultimately paralyzing them. At which point the morgue can use the large tongue-like appendage to absolutely desecrate the body and feed upon it.
Ugh.
It is no normal skeleton. That is the problem that most people come into when they attempt to fight such things. It looks like just a skeleton with a fleshy tongue. Bizarre, yes. Dangerous, perhaps. But it is no common undead. It strikes with the hatred that it bore in life.
Is
How
it
do you-
something, if we were to decapitate it or remove the noose, would that be effective?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
You could try severing the tongue, but that would just only that would merely decrease its reach. It
Then
has
how do we kill them?
any amount of corporeal harm will eventually usher a morgue unto death. But I must warn, it is quick, its bones are tough, and if it kills you,
Any particular
it will create another one.
things that they don't like? Fire?
Silver.
Huh. Not in particular. Morgues, like all undead creatures, despise holy objects.
There is a palpable sound of eyes rolling.
Better go catch him.
Perhaps you would want to enlist a guardsman in your assistance, or perhaps hire an assistant to help you. I see 3 very powerful people
perhaps
for your
we're,
age, but I know what morgues fight like, and I am not entirely certain you would be able to destroy it.
You're not sure that we'd be able to destroy one?
Yes.
Just for academic purposes, hypothetically speaking, what about 3?
At once, impossible.
All right.
These things, the paralysis that it instills in its victims is measured in minutes, not seconds. And by that time, you will be
Oh
dead.
boy.
If you were to accost 3 of them, each one at a time, if you took the proper rest and precaution, you might be able to overcome it, but that is very unlikely. I would join you, but unfortunately I am not permitted to leave.
I understand.
Do you know the areas where morgues would appear in the graveyard so we may avoid those places?
No, they don't. They will spawn from any. They will spawn from any corpse of a particularly notorious murderer. I can give you a list of notorious murderers who would have been buried there, so that you could know which graves to avoid.
That would be immensely helpful.
Very helpful.
Very well then. I will be back in just a moment.
Thank you.
Huh.
I give Clementine a smile.
See, isn't he nice?
He's an interesting person.
I know he made mention of bringing, some member of the Holy Guard or someone with us.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford it, and I'm not sure if they'd approve of our objective.
Not at all. Plus, all of
Yeah.
them are jerks.
I think I've met some nice ones. Oh, you aren't even from here.
Nope.
We need to get 3 of these, though. It sounds like they're not minor undead.
They're not.
He
Casually.
brings you a list of a series of names
Jesus
of notorious murderers.
That is much longer than I anticipated.
Thank you.
I mean, alternatively, you could use these names in order to go searching for them, but, you do whatever you want.
I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
The cemetery,
Yes.
graveyard, how big a risk is it?
It's incredibly dangerous. More than the people know.
If something were to interfere with the current state of guardianship of the graveyard, what's the worst thing that could happen?
A full necromantic incursion. I mean, there has not been a necromancer. I mean, when I don't mean some minor conjurer of undead. I mean a lord of the undead. There has not been one for a very long time. But the Legion of the Seven Winds was buried there. It was buried there for a reason. Too many corpses. Too many over too long a time. It's a necromancer's wet dream.
If Wind City were to step down its vigilance, what's the worst? How likely is it that something really bad would happen?
Not likely. I mean, we would be playing the odds. Absolutely, certainly. But for every gate that's left unguarded, for every section of its walls that are unmentored to, that's one more opportunity for some upstart wizard to climb over the walls and either join its ranks or rally them to his cause. And all it takes is one. All it takes is one to walk into a wrong catacomb and unearth something ungodly.
Well, that's good to know. Salandra gives Holt a look.
Well, thank goodness that the Holy Guard is here to defend those posts.
Well,
Really have to worry a whole lot less with them around.
they would certainly hate to admit it, but they're not as numerous as they used to be. Too many people heading off to the World Bazaar in search of coin, or to Ankara or Janam in search of militaristic glory.
So
The faith is not as strong as it used to be.
are there any members of the council who are particularly vigilant in preventing the worst from happening?
Yes. Falmar, Senator Falmar, spends day and night ensuring that everyone is aware that although we have not had to deal with a graveyard incursion in a very, very long time, that's simply been because of the vigilance that we've shown toward it. That money is not being wasted. It is doing its job perfectly.
And you don't find her to be an alarmist or irrational in her beliefs?
No. I know of many undead creatures that I can tell you with certainty that there are things there that hide because they know that if they get spotted at an inopportune moment, it will mean a crusade. And they bide their time because they are undead. They have all the time in the world. And given the opportunity to escape, they would do so without hesitation. People think that a vampire is simple to deal with. You stake it, chop off its head, and fill its mouth with holy water, and then you're done. But the problem is, it's not just the vampire you have to deal with. It's the thralls that it creates and the spawn that it creates that you also have to deal with. They can turn into a gaseous cloud at will, and with that power, they can use it to sneak and hide in places that other beings can't. And there is no doubt in my mind that there are vampires there who spend a long time sleeping. And if they see...
Yeah, they don't do very well in District 2. A lot of sun, a lot of holes in roofs.
Alexander chuckles. I wasn't aware that there were vampires in District 2.
That's my point exactly.
Someone's doing their job up there. But no, I would not call her an alarmist.
Can you point us to some texts that might be?
I absolutely can.
Salandra might spend a point on knowledge religion just because it has some useful. It's useful to be able to know the enemy, as it were.
Hey man, you can
undead.
You can
gods, yeah.
if you put enough points in knowledge religion, you will be able to like commit religious debates against people and cause them to abandon their faith as you show them all of the glaring plot holes.
Yay!
But yeah,
I'm surprised Salandra hasn't done that yet.
It's on the list of things to do.
He goes off to a shelf and returns with 3 different books, which are like, you know, greater and lesser arcologies of the undead, anthologies 1 through 5, and he gives you 1, 2, and 3.
What are they written? I just glanced. What are they written in?
You are an elf, so he brought elven copies.
Oh. Okay.
What the hell is a Drekavac? Oh, not very dangerous, but still.
Yeah, I think there are more undead monsters in Pathfinder than there are monsters in 5th edition.
I would not be surprised. I am looking down the entire list, and it's like, you know, Aleps, apparitions, Bodaks. Yeah, Bodak is one of the things that you look up, like one of the things that you find while you're perusing. And like a Bodak is like an emaciated humanoid with empty eye sockets that like smoke falls out of, and it can kill you with a look.
They're really gross looking.
Anything that's killed by a Bodak turns into a Bodak 24 hours later. So, like, the problem is not simply Bodaks. The problem is that, like, Bodaks beget Bodaks. And then you get a Bodak fucking infestation. And then, oh god, what do we do? Like, bloody skeletons. I don't know what a bone storm is. What's a bone storm? A swirling 15-foot-high funnel cloud composed of thousands of jagged human bones whirls in an uncontrolled vortex of absolute death.
Holy fuck. Trash crabs are looking so much more attractive right now.
Oh my god, the winds that it creates are unholy and do all sorts of other nasty stuff.
Imagine an undead trash crab.
Anything that gets caught in its wake takes 66 points of damage, 3d6 physical, and 3d6 absolute unholy damage.
Whoa.
And unholy damage cannot be resisted by anything. I'm just gonna go through like some of the things that I can look up that are like, yep, this is things that might show up in the graveyard. Because dear sweet God. Oh, we got Dullahans. We got the headless dead, clad in ragged robes and tarnished armor. This grim headless rider is surrounded by an aura of intense menace. Oh God. If the Dullahan knows and speaks someone's name, they get a -2 penalty. They get a -2 penalty on a save, and if they fail to save, they become staggered for 1d6 rounds. And for the next 24 hours, all critical hits against the victim automatically confirm. And finally, the victim automatically fails all constitution checks to stabilize while dying.
Shit.
Oh my god.
And all of these things can be found in the graveyard?
All of these things can be found in the graveyard, yes.
As Slander page goes through page after page.
Most of which are kept at bay by the happy, holy thoughts of its guardians. There's a hanged man, which is like...
I don't suppose you know of any well-paying work that's
I mean, if
available in town, do you?
If you have interest of going into the graveyard, there are certainly a great many lost texts that end up in graves.
Well, I mean, if we find ourselves in there anyway.
Unfortunately, I do not know where you would find them specifically. Grave robbing is not a profession that I have taken a lot of research into. But
oh, actually, speaking of that, in District 2, sometimes I've come across black books with unmarked black books with a strange writing I've never seen before in them. Most of them are in pretty bad shape. Would those be of any value too?
They would be of intense value to us.
Good to know.
What the hell does a revenant do? The shambling corpse is twisted and mutilated. Fingers of sharpened bone reach out with malevolent intent. Once every 1d4 rounds, a revenant can shriek as a standard action. All creatures within 60-foot spread must make a DC 18 will save or cower in fear for 1d4 rounds.
All right, so Solandra is looking through these texts. She's very naturally very pale, so the fact that she's blanched isn't intensely obvious.
Yeah, they're like... This book reveals a whole lot of bad mojo. Unfortunately, I cannot provide you with volumes 4 and 5. We do unleash most of our knowledge, but some of it is too dangerous. Volumes 4 and 5 talk about how to create such creatures, and so, as such, I cannot, in good conscience,
That's okay, we don't need to know
them.
that information.
No, we
And
do.
I would rather not.
The last thing we need is another Lich Lord. The last one was more than enough. I imagine it's dealing with him that that led to Falmar's zeal concerning the subject. She is over 400 years old, so she would have been alive when the last Lich Lord walked the earth.
Oh, she's an elf.
Yes.
Just gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
So, I don't know if you heard, but Solandra said she's an elf?
Yes. I'm sorry. Alexander just responded with a simple yes, she is.
Then her input is very invaluable on the Senate floor. Walking around, we've definitely heard whispers of people that don't seem to put much stake in her words.
That's how humans act.
Is there really such a population that don't think that this is a threat?
Of course not. Humans who were born after it never had to face it. As far as they're concerned, it's just ghost stories that their grandparents heard from their grandparents. Nothing to worry about. There's no boogeyman underneath your bed, and no skeleton coming to kill the cattle.
That seems oddly specific.
They'll kill anything that lives. And the cattle usually are out in the fields, and so they die first, and their cries wake the family. And then they do their best to fend off the undead. Skeletons, not so difficult to deal with. It's when the really dark things start coming out that we have to worry. There's a reason High Farm has walls. There's a reason Armstrong has walls.
I am back.
Oh, this one can fly.
Sorry.
Solandra was just mentioning that there are undead that can fly, and you are correct.
It's I think of gargoyle, the ones that have the intestines trailing down behind them or something.
Oh my god, yeah.
Solandra, to be fair, you can fly too.
She shows Clementine the picture of the female wizened female human head with pickled intestines dangling down behind it.
Oh, why'd you show me that?
Solandra.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not a Hecatoncres, but goddammit, it's trying. The Warsworn, an enormous animate mass comprised of dozens of armed and armored corpses, undulates forth like a living siege tower of steel-girded flesh. Where this mangled army of broken blades and rent flesh passes, the ground is torn and soaked in blood. Alexander goes on to admit, we've only ever seen one of these things once.
Once would seem to be more than one would expect.
Yes, apparently they adapted to our wall-building strategy. The big problem with dealing with one of the Warsworn is that when they add corpses they pass over to their own pile, and in doing so, are able to restore their cohesion, and therefore are more difficult to destroy. In any event, no, most of the naysayers are humans who do not believe that what is going on is important. People who have forgot their history. And there are others with more ulterior motives.
Any specifics? Individuals with ulterior motives we should be aware of?
We here at the library have heard that there are some who are trading clandestine goods with the other districts. We've yet to figure out exactly what they're exchanging, but they certainly would want to protect those investments.
They're probably worried that increased security at points in the graveyard would cease their smuggling.
That would make sense.
Or they might be smuggling something out of the graveyard. Lots of very useful components can be found from looking at this. Even with my knowledge of the arcane, I know that there are some people who use pieces of the undead for spell components.
You are very correct.
And in alchemy.
I'm sure that's part of it, but the average smuggler wouldn't be able to deal with killing these things and taking their parts.
Well, presumably most of these things are fairly rare. People seem to navigate through this graveyard of yours all the time, so I can't believe there's a morgue under every bush.
Everybody make a bluff or diplomacy roll. You guys have done a great job of dancing around the issue. But there is an issue, and you have been dancing around it.
It is.
8.
Oh boy.
14.
17.
So, Alexander's robed head turns to each of you and scrutinizes you all. Is there something going on that I should know about?
Nothing you should be worried about. This. She kind of, Clementine gets a little, closer to Alexander, like, talking in confidence. We have to kill 3 of them, and that's as much as I can tell you.
I see.
But it's not for anything bad. We just have to do it.
Well,
It's
if-
more like a cursed kind of thing.
if you're dead set on making this happen, please, get some help.
You got it. Thank you for all the information. You've been very helpful, as always.
You're welcome. If there is anything else that you require, please do not hesitate to get my attention, but there are other books that need cataloging.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Thanks.
Everybody who's not Clementine, make a perception roll.
I don't see shit. 3.
Plus 6. 19.
So,
4.
Nikolai, you're just like, whatever. Fucking weird robed dude. Fucking who gives a shit. Salandra, you're looking at him, and you and brother kind of come to the same conclusion at the same time, which is he moves like we do.
What was that?
He moves like we do.
Ah. In terms of the dancing motion, or in terms of the flight?
In terms of the flight. Like, it is pretty clearly evident to your trained elven eyes, as someone who is able to float around when they wish for short periods of time, that the figure under that robe is not taking steps. It's just moving.
Clementine,
Yeah?
have you ever seen what the fuck is exactly underneath that robe?
No. She kind of lowers her voice politely. I always kind of thought he might be like, have some scarring or something from the war that he was kind of shy about, so I never asked him.
I think he might be more different than that.
Well, it doesn't matter any to me.
She lowers her head to Clementine's ear and just says, "He's floating."
Without an ounce of guile, Clementine whirls around and is like, "Whoa." No wonder he can always sneak up on me.
Holt is not paying attention because Holt is thinking several things through very hard.
So, I'm willing to stay here and try and glean some more information from these texts. Alexander's parting knowledge to me was that we should get help. Whether you both think we should, that's up to you, but it
Well,
might be a good idea.
are we going to be making enough off this job to afford help?
We have to complete it.
We have to.
Mm-hmm.
What type of deal did you make?
A binding one.
A binding in what time frame one?
No super strong time frame.
Like, what, did you get it in writing?
No, I shook on it.
Listen, there's giving your word and then...
Salandra doesn't detect magic.
Clementine has a faint aura of magic.
You didn't, did you?
It is of the enchantment
Holy
school when scrutinized.
Holy fuck. You did.
What?
Yeah. I'll be honest, I thought this was a lot more straightforward, and I rushed into it. I'm sorry.
Salandra pages to the section on morgue. Does that look straightforward to you? Just curious.
I didn't know what it was.
Why you ask for clarification before you shake hands? Otherwise, you end up in situations like we're in right now.
She's got a binding on her.
Do I know what that is?
I mean, it's basically what the Duke has on you, but magical instead of something else.
Oh, great.
Magical blackmail. Gotta love it. By the way, that's what a morgue looks like.
That is really fucking gross.
Damn straight it is.
Ew.
And I mean, like, you...
Oh, they have intestines too. Lovely.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think
man.
those are intestines.
Don't worry
It
about
looks
it.
like a worm.
What did I,
think
tell you?
that's the noose.
Stop worrying about it. It used to be a noose. Yes, basically,
Nice.
when your characters do research, you will gain, like, metagame knowledge of this creature and just, like, translate that in your brain.
Okay.
Well, at least I don't see anything. Do I see anything about them being immune to electricity?
They are not immune to they are not immune to electricity.
Yay!
Actually, let me look up undead traits in order to clarify. They shouldn't be immune to electricity.
Yeah, I think undead traits, if I remember in Pathfinder, are just like immunity to a lot of conditions.
Yep, bleed, death effects, disease, paralysis, poison, sleep, stunning, and they took out D&D's immunity to cold. Thank
Thankfully.
goodness. But yeah, so like by doing enough research on a morgue, you have done enough research on a morgue through this book to basically get its entire stat block, but just like understand that obviously your characters don't know their knowledge as such. Like, you know that their armor, their bones are tougher than full plate, and that their tongues need merely touch your skin in order to imbue you with the paralytic feeling of death, and that their fists do more damage than a great sword. They also like to
Clementine, do you
grab
know of
people.
any potions that are good against paralysis? It seems like if we don't find something to protect ourselves from paralysis, this is not something we're gonna survive.
Yeah.
Would that be a profession herbalist or craft alchemy?
Craft alchemy.
Okay. Nat 20 plus my +5 modifier, so 25.
There
Nice.
are absolutely remove paralysis potions. Remove paralysis is a level 2 spell that can only be cast by clerics, paladins, inquisitors, and shamans. So if you're going to want to get one, you're either going to have to go to the wilds and look for somebody who is shamanistically inclined, or go to District 5 to find a shaman, or work with the Holy Guard to buy some.
How much are we getting paid for this deal anyway?
Handsomely.
I don't remember how much she said that she would pay you.
She didn't.
She did not.
Fair enough. I will give you your eternal reward. And then she pulls out a knife.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what I'm picturing.
All right.
She probably
I
wouldn't
thought
do that.
Salandra was the one with the 8 wisdom here. So.
Holt, also 8 wisdom.
Woo!
Oh.
It's
So in
time
other
to
words,
get mind controlled.
We're relying on Clementine to provide us with wisdom.
Not anymore.
We're fucked.
Go to your Alexa app.
Yeah, the average remove paralysis potion costs 300 gold pieces, but because of the Holy Guard's benevolence, you could probably get it for much less. But hiring on an extra hand would not actually cost that much.
Something we could do also is try and team up. Would I know if there are patrols that go through the graveyard? Would that be knowledge local?
There are the occasional patrol that go through the graveyard.
Yeah.
What's your total knowledge local?
I actually don't have anything for knowledge local.
Oh, if you don't have any points in knowledge local, then you don't actually have knowledge local.
Oh, okay.
It is a
Yeah,
trained
knowledge
skill
is
only.
kind of.
Gotcha.
So, like, you just have not been keeping up with current events at all. You've been living on your farm, and, like, who's the governor? You don't know. Who's
have
the
no
senator?
idea.
Fuck, that's not my business. Prime
Because of
Minister?
my-
Nope.
Past experience with the Holy Guard, would I be able to use my knowledge?
You don't need knowledge local to know if you've lived here that they do occasionally send patrols in there to make sure that everything is on the up and up. And then sometimes
Probably don't broadcast them.
sometimes they come back and sometimes they don't come back.
Oh. That might be a definite place to start if we could team up with a patrol. I'm sure they'd be grateful to have the extra bodies, especially since they don't have as many people as they usually do.
Or they might be suspicious of why would these people randomly approach the guard and want to go into the graveyard.
It's a toss-up, really.
Holt, you always think the worst of people.
I am a realist.
Holt is not frequently disappointed.
Boom!
Listen.
Oh.
We have this problem, we also have a decision to make.
I can't do it.
Knowing what I know now about Warren, I don't feel comfortable. Clementine, you live here. How often does the Senate meet for a vote?
Weekly.
What was that, Ronald?
Weekly.
Something Lee.
Yeah, weekly. Okay, so they meet weekly. It's a gamble whether this would, like, how much this would set everything back.
I mean, the guy you were talking to made her sound like the Bernie Sanders of fighting undead.
Yeah, but if it's just for a week.
But if it's an important vote.
Yeah, they probably don't vote on this every week. It's more of they probably have certain issues that they vote on each week, and then...
Nah, she could try to drum up support again and be like, no, we need to reverse this statute. And then, you got to get that going. You got to get it on the ball, and then you got to convince a bunch of people. And then
What
you need to start a
percentage
campaign.
of the senators are human?
Most of them. I would
Most of
say
them?
like 60% human, 10% elven, and then like 30% other stuff. There's an ogre on the Senate. He is a very well-spoken ogre.
Brother,
Yes.
we've never really tried it, but try saying something to Clementine. The way you talk to me.
Clementine,
He's not. I'm not saying that aloud. I'm talking to brother.
right.
Private channel.
So Clementine, you get signal. I'm trying to think of. Oh my god, I'm trying to find like an appropriate song to represent the noise that you are currently experiencing. It's not incredibly loud and it's not incredibly invasive, but you start hearing something from the general direction of brother, and you don't know like what the fuck it is.
Sorry, just thinking about something. Be nice to be able to talk to someone without being too obvious about it. Did you hear anything, Clementine? Or not hear precisely?
Clementine is looking around. Like music?
No, it's not
Music?
music. It's like a bunch of drums and warbling noises.
Yeah, Clementine would call that music.
The Salander turns her head to look at Brother's hilt. Music?
It gives you the mental equivalent of a shrug.
That doesn't work too well at all.
Damn.
Well, have to try something different then.
I'm really regretting giving my name to that man.
Yeah, particularly since we don't have his.
We're in deep on both ends.
I don't care if he knows my name.
All right, I have a trick that might be of some use.
All right.
What's
I'll
your
need
plan,
to prepare.
Salandra?
What is that?
What's your plan, Salandra?
I was thinking of using. Let's see, how long does Vanish last? Hopefully, it's better than her last plan, or the one before that.
It's gonna get weird.
So I can change my spell listings so that I replace replace my Cat's Grace with invisibility.
Yes, you can do that by spending an hour, just thinking about it.
Okay, and then I would attempt to. I don't have any of the speak silently to people things. So my best bet is probably to. Yeah, so my best bet to communicate with the senator is to sort of walk up to her invisibly and say something to her.
I was actually going to suggest that. I think we really have to warn her. You're an elf. She'll probably be more apt to trust you than, me.
Well, at least until she actually sees me.
So, well, maybe. Then it's up to your own charms. But I actually had an idea, and you saying that about the invisibility made me think. Could you use Vanish on another person? What I'm asking is, what if you made Orawarin invisible? So, to make it look like she's not coming to the meeting, but will actually be inside on time when it wears off. That way it won't look like we failed so spectacularly or chosen a side.
become pretty obvious that we're choosing a side when it actually happens.
It could be an accident. I don't have any reputation in District 3. This guy doesn't know that I'm particularly good at my job.
That would have to be invisibility, but yes, I can make someone else invisible. I can make someone vanish, but the vanish is really just a trick for disappearing for a really short period of time. But with invisibility, I can make someone. Well, even with invisibility, it doesn't last that long. So,
1 minute per
Master
level.
Yes, well, Master Magus, I'm not.
No more magic than I do. So
Well, mainly self-taught, which has yes, brother, yes, I know. Yeah, you helped. Yes, I know. You were very, very helpful, always.
of course it all hinges on you being able to convince this person that there is a actual threat to her and her cause, because
from what I've heard about the senator, I suspect that might not be the most difficult thing in the world. Now, making her trust me, that's a different story. We'll see how that works out. Oh, it's never fucking easy, is it, Holt?
No, it's not. But in terms of prioritizing our jobs, I don't mind botching this one. Because Clementine's in some sort of magical vice grip.
Yep.
That's what we have to focus all of our resources on.
I agree. The sooner we get it done, the better. Though, I'm not sure if we're ready for this fight. I'm not sure if we're ready for 3 fights like that. These things sound highly unpleasant.
Oh, we've got like 2.5 days to figure it out.
All right. So I have vanish and I have invisibility, so I've got. I can get to the point where I can find. Yeah, finding the senator is of course going to be tricky. We really
I
need
don't think
someone.
so. Does this place have a map?
We could always ask Alexander.
If she's 400 years old, then her
Actually,
fate is going to be on a map.
just a thought.
Okay.
Maybe having a little faith, not exactly my strong suit, but Clementine, do you think Alexander would be willing to set up a very quiet meeting with the senator and us?
I'll ask him. Hold tight.
So
Okay.
you go get Alexander's attention. Yes, Clementine, is there something else that you need?
So we've been discussing the senator and what we want to do about her vote, and we need to make sure she votes. But we're concerned for her safety because if that man was willing to,
Did she really? Did
try
she
and silence her,
hold head in his hands?
we want to make sure she's safe.
If this is within Solandra's hearing, she's just going to start laughing.
It's not intentionally. I don't know how well Solandra hears.
Let me perception.
Your hearing's pretty good. Roll perception at a -5.
Actually, I don't hear shit.
Let's see, at -5, that brings me to a 15.
Yep, Solandra, you are perfectly capable of hearing this conversation.
Yeah, so Holt, you're chatting quietly with Solandra when she starts laughing hopelessly and puts her face in her hands.
That wasn't a joke. These undead things are crazy.
No. Oh, I think we're gonna have some explaining to do.
Alexander.
I'm sorry, Clementine is honest to a fault.
Alexander says, I could send her a letter that we had business to discuss. We are a
That would be
political body,
wonderful.
after all.
That would be perfect. Thank
Very
you.
well, then. I will pen it and send it on its way. And he
Thank
goes
you.
off.
Clementine heads on up to back to Solandra and Holt. Oh, good.
So Saladra's still laughing, giggling, kind of. She's trying to
That's so funny.
she's trying to chuckle, but she's more giggling.
Holt just closes the book. It's like, okay, you've read enough. We've
Good job.
broken-
Good job, Clementine.
Thanks.
Oh, well, hopefully Alexander's not going for the guard now.
Well, why would he?
It's not difficult for him to put 2 and 2 together.
Well, I told him we're going to help her. And they're
Clementine,
friends.
did you mention something about some man being involved? Yeah.
I thought he should know that this guy's dangerous.
Yes, Holt is very dangerous.
Did you specify what person you were talking about, Clementine?
I mean, presumably the senator that spoke to you guys.
Okay. Well, if I get arrested, please bail me out. I have
wouldn't
about 50
arrest.
gold pieces in my purse. It should definitely be enough.
You're not getting arrested. It's not your crime.
What is being able to draw? Is that craft?
That's craft.
I would think so.
So I've always had Salandra drawing stuff past it. So we haven't really specified if she's actually any good at it. So
I am reasonably certain that drawing is a craft ability or a profession.
I have craft tattoo. Does that mean I can draw?
No, but that means that if someone gives you a design, you won't screw it up when you translate it from drawing to tattoo.
That's what I figured.
So you're probably a decent draftsman.
Interesting.
Ooh,
Yes.
you're a female alien. Looks a good bit like Salandra.
That's what I was suggesting. Like, this figure appears before you and says, I'm here to save your life. And Clementine responded with, trusts immediately. In any event, before long, Alexander returns and simply comments, the letter has been sent.
Thank you. See?
When should we?
Alexander, I just wanted to make sure you knew I was not talking.
It's fine. Fine, Clementine.
Please don't arrest my friend. He is a good man.
Wait, are you talking to Alexander?
Sorry?
Are you talking to Alexander?
I say that to Alexander, yes.
Clementine, what are you talking about?
See? I told you.
Oh, good.
I feel so much safer now.
I mean, if you think I'm going to tell anyone about your plans to assassinate and possibly stop this senator from voting, you have the wrong impression of me.
Exactly. That's what I was telling them.
And no actual plans. Very quite the contrary.
Yes, of course. Whatever you need to say in order to establish your plausible deniability with me.
To be fair, the terms were delay and not murder.
Yes, but he was very clear that he wouldn't mind her being murdered.
And how exactly did you know that?
Sorry.
Brother, is anyone poking around inside?
When you mention this, brother says, no, but there was, now that you mention it.
In the future? Fucking tell me things like that.
Sorry.
She says that part audibly.
I will mention such things, if I should notice them. It's actually not very long before... Woo! Calligraphy! It's not very long before... What did you say?
I said, I was just laughing. It's not long before what?
It's not long before the senator appears. She apparently took the letter very seriously. Alexander ushers all of you into a back room.
Hello. So, we have some information we'd like to give you. It's kind of embarrassing.
It sounds
Well.
like it, I bet. The letter sounded pretty damning.
We're hoping to write some of that. Given our recent acquisition of information that has broadened our perspective of the graveyard situation, this job is probably a bad idea.
We were approached by someone who was interested in having you delayed for the next vote of the Senate. Offered us a fair amount of money.
Sizable amount.
Let me guess, you don't know his name, do you?
I know what he looks like.
Please, tell me.
Seedy rat of a man in garish clothing. The kind of man who would definitely hire a ton of people to do his dirty work. I don't think he's...
Unfortunately, that describes half of Dugan's entourage.
Can I
His-
mention to her the name of the inn where we met him?
His
Yes.
clothes had tassels. It was seemed like a point of style for him. That's correct, right, Ronald? I'm not making that up.
You are correct. The Hunter and Chalice was the name of the inn. Not an inn, tavern. You can't spend the night there, but you can spend the night there, if you get my meaning.
Right.
Ronald, thing, does this lady look at all familiar to me?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
she has
just curious.
obviously elven traits, but no one you've ever seen before.
Yeah. Again, I've been through this city when I was a child. Sure.
Right. In any event, she shakes her head. Sorry, I don't frequent that sort of establishment, especially because it's one of Dugan's little clubhouses.
Can you describe Dugan to us?
Oh, you'd know him if you saw him. He's the Prime Minister. Black hair, severe eyes. He's always overdressed.
I look
Enjoys
Salandra.
hues of blues and gray.
So was it the Prime Minister we actually were talking to, or someone
No.
else?
Her description of Dugan does not match up with the person you were speaking to. Frequently armed, Dugan is.
I don't think this guy was armed.
He was not.
No, he wasn't. At least nothing
Obvious.
open. So, once we found out a little bit more about the situation in town, it seemed like we didn't want to be responsible for the entire city getting destroyed, which sounds like it's a possibility.
It is a distinct
So-
possibility. Remote, but distinct. Thank you very much for making the wise decision. The good news is that now that he's hired you, he almost certainly will not hire anyone else. The bad news is once he figures out that you have failed, he's probably going to ask someone to delay your adventures, probably in a more permanent fashion.
And most likely he'll hire someone to deal with you in a more permanent fashion. He implied that if we did it, we would be rewarded more.
Now that I understand that he's
Full
coming
comps.
after me, so deliberately, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm an elf. I've got a lot of old friends. I've got a lot of people who owe me. And if that means a couple extra eyes and ears sent my direction, I think I can swing that. So, don't worry about me.
What about the vote? Is it actually important that you be there?
Absolutely. I'm the person who's heading the defense of the law that Dugan and his cronies are trying to strike down. If I'm not there, I will be seconded by oh boy. I'll be seconded by Senator Kurth. And although he may be eloquent, he's not exactly a well-respected member of the senatorial staff.
So the question is, will we be able to stage this in such a way as that we look incompetent instead of complicit?
Incompetence won't be an excuse. I assure you. The man that you're dealing with probably doesn't care whether you failed on purpose or you failed on accident. He has a reputation to protect. And if you're not with him, you're against him. And if you're against him, you need to be eliminated. I'm sorry, you guys got caught up in something. Something, that's for sure.
Yeah, when he was talking, it didn't sound like a life or death sort of matter. It sounded like petty political squabble.
Yes, which is probably the reason why he could justify paying us what he was paying us. If he made it sound like it was earth-shatteringly important, he would have had to offer us more money, right?
True.
What can I say? They have silver tongues. Silver tongues and deep pockets.
Well, I have no problems doing a lot of things for money, but I don't want to see a bunch of obnoxious but innocent people getting killed.
Alright, let me say this. I can't protect you from assassins day and night, but you did me a solid. If you need something, maybe I can help you out.
Well, we've got another problem. Maybe you could help us a little bit with that.
What are you guys doing? What do you guys get caught up in?
What haven't we gotten caught up in?
We
I
might need some assistance in the graveyard itself. I suspect you've got the connections to be a big fucking help there.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for an escort? Are you looking for a mage, a researcher? What are you looking for?
we have to kill some morgues. 3 of them.
Okay. Morgue hunting. That's strange. I know a guardsman who owes me a favor. His name is Corgan. He's quick with a blade. If you can make it clear to him that you're there to kill them, then he'll help you out. Hates the
That
damn
would be a big
things.
help.
Immeasurable.
Well, so I'm just wondering how if the senator has this perception of Salandra being like around 12. So
Something like that. She looks at you all like, oh my god, you're all so young and you're all so dumb.
oh.
Sorry about all this.
It's fine. You get used to this sort of thing.
Would you suggest we do the day of? Is it best for us to be out of town by then?
That would definitely be a good idea. The further you are, the harder it'll be for him to find you.
I doubt he'd follow us into the graveyard.
Almost certainly not, but if you try to hide in the graveyard, you will certainly die.
Not for long, at least. Maybe we should just conclude our business as quickly as possible.
That would not be a bad idea.
Clementine, what's the time frame?
Eventually, I think was the conclusion.
She didn't give me a strict one.
You know, it's all magical hoobity joobity.
Would this person have reached all the way to Armstrong?
Who, the senator?
Yeah, the senator.
No, I'm talking about the guy trying to kill the senator.
Oh, yes, certainly. Dugan's the prime minister. He's got connections all over the district. And I hear he's got connections in District 4 as well. And you didn't hear this from me, but he's also got connections in District 2. I don't know what he's up to, but I don't like it. But quite frankly, I don't have the clout to fight him in open Senate.
We really stumbled into a dung beetle's nest.
That's politics, my
My
dear.
thoughts exactly.
You should see the dung beetles in District 2. They're bigger than the trash crabs.
Oh no!
They're also more docile, strangely enough. That being said, if you fall in one of their nests, I guarantee it will be unpleasant.
Yeah, let's not do that.
You don't want to see trash crab fecal matter. You don't. I assure you. Where should Corgan meet you?
Solandra looks at Clementine. You're the local.
What is, I would probably know of a, out of the way inn somewhere in the city.
There is a place actually nearby the monastery called the Half Full Flask.
Perfect. The half full flask.
She comments, "That's a mouthful."
We're gonna need those potions too. Can we? Do you know where we can get them, Clementine?
If I tell him that
I
you're
think the
going
Holy
morgue
Garden
hunting,
knows
I assure
that.
you he's going to bring some.
Well, thank you for your help then, and sorry for getting involved in this in any way.
It's fine. I was already involved. You just let me know it.
Wow.
We did the right thing, Solandra.
Yep.
Let's get going.
Agreed. Alexander, thank you very much for assembling this meeting. It was more than productive. Alexander bows. And she heads out.
I feel like a fucking amateur here.
You do? This is supposed to be what I do for a living.
Yeah, but the
What
big
do you
issue
know?
is I think the thing that that Nikolai learned today is usually, Nikolai, you take jobs on behalf of someone else. Like, you have an agent.
Yes.
You know, you've got a fixer, and they're like, all right, this is who you're doing a job for, and this is what you're doing. And now I think you have absolutely understood what it means for why a fixer is important, and what they had been doing this entire time, and why they had been taking a cut.
And I realized that maybe I wasn't giving them enough of a cut. How dare you guys make me worry about morals?
Wow. I usually try to avoid thinking about it, but
That was actually a joke, Solandra.
Nothing about this situation is terribly funny. All right, well, let's go off and hunt
My
incredibly deadly and powerful undead.
I
That
gotta
seems like so much better than our alternative.
I gotta
And
do
that's
a
really horrifying, right?
I gotta do a retcon real quick. The school of magic that is currently filling up Clementine's body is necromantic, not enchantment.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
boy.
That's so much better.
I'm so glad we know that.
I'm a hex crafter. Do I recognize this as being kind of a hex or like witchy type magic?
Make a knowledge arcane roll.
Oh, I probably do. Knowledge arcane's 29.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is definitely a curse. And it's a powerful one. Mostly it is so powerful because it is situational. Because it has a trigger and it's not just like a generic curse, that makes it worse. Because it's following more rules, it's more powerful.
So, Clementine, just so you know, and I'm not trying to scare you, but you need to have you need to have information. What you agreed to was a curse.
Oh,
That's hex magic on
That-
you.
that would explain the feeling of something on my back.
So, it's way past my power to break something like that.
Well, it's only a hex. It's only bad if you break it, so I'm not going to break it. We're going to go get the morgues and return them and get paid. and get our Hellgaps and go.
Good plan.
Clementine gives a very desperate smile.
Just keep
Holt is
smiling.
trying to
Don't
be
stop.
encouraging.
Oh, I just saw your barbarian. Very cute.
Just like that is. I just wanted to post that as just like that is how she is viewing you. You're like, I'm a barbarian, and she's like, oh my god, you're 12. Stop. I'm very
Yep.
powerful. No, you're not.
I just watched Moana last night.
Oh man, that's so good.
The little coconut guys.
Oh my god.
Oh
Those
yeah,
things-
yeah.
Those things are pretty scary. Right? Not like terrifying, but like, oh, these little guys are more effective than you expect.
They're trying your best, you know.
I also get the
They
distinct
are.
impression that they're like immortal. So like, right. I should mention that the senator stipulates that Corgan will be at the half-full flask tomorrow morning.
Beautiful.
Holt, one other thing.
Hmm.
I get this distinct impression that the senator, under a lot of circumstances, could seriously kick our asses.
Holt shrugs.
Just a comment that we might have been set up for a fall too.
Okay. I mean, we're gonna have to deal with some sort of repercussions. No matter what, I am choosing to focus on the hex.
Yep.
We've done what we can on this front, and now we get to move on to the next thing.
Think about it. Like Solandra, like like the picture becomes perfectly clear. Senator, speaks out against the striking down of funds to be funneled to defending the graveyard. She mysteriously disappears, or doesn't make it to the vote, or is killed, and then you guys end up being served to the guard on a silver platter. Justice is served. What a terrible circumstance. If only we could have got to them sooner and prevented this travesty of justice. But now we have them. And
And it
it
helps
was
that we're from District 2 and District 4.
and it was
So, the fact that
we
we're-
who did it.
Yeah, that we're out of district folk too.
Oh, and you're right, and like, look at these fake passports. Look at these. This foreign horde coming to defile our beautiful city.
Man, we took a job from Trump. Oh,
Oh no! Oh God, no! He would suggest that you build a wall, but wall's already built.
mm.
Apparently, it's not big enough. What are they gonna do when they get up there? Maybe they could use a rope to get down. I can't believe he actually said that. Anyway, so you guys get to the half-full flask.
Okay.
It is the opposite of bustling. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm looking at the list of randomly generated patrons, and that is almost certainly because one of the people who is there drinking is a leper. There is a dwarf leper who is accompanied by another surly-looking dwarf. There's an elf who appears to be a regular, and she is keeping their distance. And the innkeeper is also a dwarf.
A dwarf leper.
Yes.
Well,
Don't bother him.
Hey man, it's inevitable that they failed a fortitude save at some point.
so Solandra knows some perfectly nice lepers, and they're not very contagious. So
Yeah, it's not his fault.
Holt is very wary. Is there a free table in this place?
There are so many free tables. There are like 5 free tables.
Let's grab one in the corner.
Sounds good.
Solandra and Holt scramble to get the one with the back to against the wall. No, me!
Here's the menu. I should also mention that the surly dwarf, a giant tarantula comes out of her robes, grabs some food off of her plate, and then crawls back inside of her robes.
Okay.
I look over at brother.
Brother looks up at you.
And it's like one of those.
What do you mean?
Familiar?
Something like that. Don't expect me to eat food off your plate.
I light up a cigarette, give brother a drag.
He does smoke.
Does he really?
The ash line is going down. You don't know where the smoke goes. Obviously, the sword doesn't breathe, but it's weird. In any event, talk amongst yourselves. I gotta go to use the bathroom.
Samesies.
I don't let him have coffee anymore. Last time was ugly. Well,
So you should definitely send me some images for Solandra, because I have
actually,
no idea.
that face is actually really is pretty good. Your face is good, and also the face that Ronald just sent, in terms of like the way the facial tattoos and the hair is good. The main thing is like, and it's hard to describe exactly. Like,
I completely forgot about the Mad Max aesthetic. You said studded armor in the combat with the dire, and I was just like, okay, let me Google some studded armor.
Yeah. So basically, it's really not studded armor. It's just sort of effectively works like studded armor. And it's not really a cloak. It just works. It's more like a duster. But it's in terms of the way Ronald and I talked about District 2, is nothing is new. Everything is sort of repurposed.
Okay.
So, and it's it is very post-apocalyptic chic. So, is that Ronald saying something in the background?
Yeah, he's probably talking to some of his roommates.
Ah, okay.
I'm back.
So, actually, the other image that I found kind of useful referentially was this one of do you know the Natalie Dormer? She was on Game of Thrones. She got killed off. Oop, sorry. Hope that wasn't a spoiler. There's a picture of her online from, I think, when she did one of the Mockingjay movies. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh yeah, she's got the sick
gotcha,
ass
yep.
vine. Yeah.
And
Vine tattoos and the haircut. Yeah, that's what I was picturing for a haircut.
There was this interview with Natalie Dormer where she was talking about how everyone thinks she has this smug haughtiness about her. And she's like, really, it's just because I have a crooked smile. Or I kind of imagine that's how Solandra is as well.
yes. Yeah. I mean, in her case, yeah, that's a good picture.
Alright.
All right, I'm back. What'd I miss?
We didn't do much in character, mainly just chatting.
That's fine. Part
I was
of
commenting.
Checking on my broth.
I was commenting on a picture from of Natalie Dormer.
part of the tabletop experience is shooting the shit. So, if you guys don't have anything like particular to do at the half full flask, you can just like get a room for the night.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Have dinner. Grab a room. Bed down.
And obviously her ears are pointed. So.
Of course.
Oh, good. That's the one that I have saved.
Oh, okay.
Beauty.
Apparently she had that haircut while she was on Game of Thrones, but the way she kind of just flipped her hair over the beer pot part. So.
Makes sense.
Okay, and we get the room next to the leper. Good discount on that.
It would be our luck, wouldn't it?
I'm not sure if I'd call what we have Buckhold.
Well, I mean, luck itself isn't good or bad.
Mhm.
Or it can be both.
I think I used up all my good luck and bad luck in the same fall.
It's just how
If
you
you
roll
didn't
with
have
it.
bad luck, you wouldn't have any.
Clementine, when you go downstairs, there is an imposing figure sitting at one of the tables. He is wearing a breastplate, and his hair is long and staggeringly blonde. He is clearly an elf, and laying on the table in front of him is an unsheathed greatsword, and he is flipping through some sort of obvious Creator and Marduk-based holy text.
Holy crap. Seriously? Alright. You guys, I had a feeling that I might get into trouble here.
Alright.
Clementine looks very sleepy. Which is unusual because you've noticed she's an excruciatingly cheerful morning person.
This is particularly odd.
Don't get into trouble, Solandra. We need her. We need him.
Oh god, but he looks like he's
Don't
reads
bully
those.
him.
You see the side of his fucking sword's bigger than I am. You think I'm gonna bully him?
Alexander said that holy symbol stuff effective against undead thing.
Yeah.
So we get ourselves a paladin.
Just borrowed ectoplasmic shit.
Whatever it is, don't care. Don't care what it is. This is the part where you are
Yeah.
quiet for a second.
Yes.
He might be really nice.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Let's go
Fuck.
introduce ourselves.
Fake a smile. I'm going to.
A rictus grin appears on Solandra's face.
Excellent.
Clementine nudges her in the ribs to tickle her a little bit. A real smile.
Mm.
As you approach,
Holt's gonna walk up. Yeah.
he looks at all of you and simply remarks, "Good morning."
Good morning.
Kurgan, I
Corgan.
presume?
Yes.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Clementine. This is Mr. Holt and Miss Salandra.
It is nice to meet you all as well. It appears that you have a morgue problem of some variety. Falmer was a
do.
little fuzzy on the details.
Yes, we have been tasked with hunting down 3 of them. And we find ourselves in need of some help.
Very well then.
Luckily, the good senator was able to tell us about you.
Like he shrugs. He's a little confused. He's like, "Well, Senator Falmer wants me to help you. You want to kill 3 morgues? I don't see any reason why I shouldn't assist."
It's a
She
win-win.
has compensated for my time.
I missed what he said before compensated.
Senator Falmer has compensated me for my time.
Oh, that's incredibly generous of her.
It is.
He, he snaps his book shut. You should probably, all get a meal and we should head out.
Of course. Clementine gets y'all breakfast.
Oh, thanks.
Food is at.
Nom nom nom.
You do hear the sound of Salandra quietly grinding her teeth.
Yeah, y'all eat. Y'all head out. What the hell?
Is there a little more cutting in and out than usual today, or is that just on my side?
No, I've been getting a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Discord get you
Something's
shit.
weird.
Something's weird, Scoop.
So, like, if I interrupt you, which I feel like I have been, I'm really sorry.
Only a few times, but yeah. No, it has been
It's because
happening.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Weird. Wacky. No, I don't have anything else that would be eating up bandwidth. I'll close
let
Steam
me,
just in case.
Restart Discord. Give me like 2 seconds.
Sounds good. I am back from outer space.
Hello.
Did Dave also reset his Discord?
Sorry? I just heard Discord.
God damn it! Did Dave also reset his Discord?
He did.
All right.
There he is.
Welcome back.
Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Yeah, it was like the voice was just there.
It's just there in the air.
That's me.
You can't even hold it. All right. So, you guys head out. If you don't have anything else to say to Corrigan, he'll just, follow along.
How long do you think we're going to be out there? What sort of supplies might we need that we don't necessarily have?
It would probably take... depends on how hard we want to march. I'd prefer to get this errand done as quickly as possible. We could probably get there in a day and a half and then take a day and a half to come back, but we're talking light sleep, heavy march.
What a difference 6 degrees makes. It's probably more than that.
Okay, so just make sure we have appropriate food and water if we can't find it along the way.
You don't have to worry too much about water. I can,
That's right.
Clementine wiggles her fingers. I can handle that.
That's so handy.
You're telling me. Handy.
Can you conjure up some ale too?
No, I'm still working on that one. Water to wine.
We probably shouldn't end up drinking before noon.
Except for coffee, I hope.
Of course. I mean, consuming alcoholic beverages before noon. It's just
Agreed.
no good to get caught out being drunk and all.
Never had much fucking interest in booze.
The same.
Clementine shoots you a look.
What?
She kind of shakes her head like, never mind. We shouldn't curse in front of a paladin.
Why not? Just because I'm held to such strict tenets doesn't mean that you have to be. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as to say that I am so that you don't have to be.
Oh, well, thank fuck for that.
That's really funny to hear Clementine curse.
Just sounds cute, though.
Just so non-threatening.
Are people talking? Oh.
As they walk, Clementine will continue her MO of getting the new guy to like her by asking way too many personal questions.
Ask away.
She'll ask where he's from, how long he's been, been a paladin for.
Well, I was...
What his
What is what?
why his weapon of choice is such.
So he explains,
Etc.
I was born in Armstrong, and I spent a lot of time at the Church of Marduk there. My parents were very devout, and his lessons spoke to me. The way that he ruled, the way that he fought, the way that he went about his things, and the way that his father was able to create the city for us inspired me.
That's wonderful.
The first time I went from Armstrong to Wind City to make a sort of a pilgrimage to the temple, I had to walk through the graveyard, and I realized how bad things were. We needed an escort to get through it, and I don't know. I guess that's what sort of inspired me to join the Holy Guard. And I just was good with a greatsword. They gave me the run of all the weapons. I tried spears, flails, long swords, short swords, but I was never any good with a shield, I sort of can't split my attention that way.
subvocally, brother, what do you think? Well-intentioned idiot?
What did you say? Well-intentioned idiot?
I said subvocally.
Right.
That's a telepathic communication with brother.
Oh, absolutely well-intentioned idiot. Perhaps he could be made to come to his senses, but I sincerely doubt it. But, yeah. You guys could take 2 days to get there, or you could push through in a day and a half. But if you go through in a day and a half, you will get there by nightfall.
Sorry, kind of more out of character question based on my unfamiliarity with Pathfinder. Are undead like only come out at night kind of guys?
Depends on the
Undead don't like the sun, and the cloud cover that's often granted to the graveyard means that even during the day they're able to walk about unabated. But like everything, it always gets worse at night.
Gotcha. I say we take 2 days to arrive there during the day, but
Having the whole day to sort of scout out there probably would make sense. Rather than arriving at night and, well, for most of you, walking around blind.
I will throw up a happy and healthy moose ears. If you go there in a day and a half, kill the 3 morgues, and then come back, you might be able to get out of the city before what's-his-face figures out that you failed to deal with the senator. If you choose to take the 2 days there and like the day and a half back or whatever, it will be too late.
alright, day and a half, let's do this.
All right.
I'm an optimist.
While we're traveling, Solandra's throwing this ball of light between her from hand to hand.
Oh, a mage, are you?
Sort of. He probably would recognize it. She's casting her disrupt undead cantrip over and over again.
Actually, he doesn't. But we'll get to that. My grandfather had a magical aptitude, so I'm told. I never met the man.
Well, it's not that uncommon among elves.
We also have the time to study arcane secrets that others don't.
Well, it helps when we live long enough that we can learn a hell of a lot.
Agreed. The days pass without note. There are enough taverns on the road for you to be able to sleep comfortably, and you don't need to worry about stocking up on food on the way there. But
So I do visualize, as she's getting ready to sleep, the Solandra doing it's just for sheer. Do you know the scene in The Great Escape where Steve McQueen is throwing the ball against the wall over and over again?
yeah,
I see her being very twitchy with that disrupt undead cantrip and doing sort of the same thing.
So yeah, when you get to the graveyard, no joke, just welcome. When you get there, there's like a guard post set up outside, and you can see another guard post far off but well within eyesight. Warm torches. The guard post here is manned by 6 men, one of which is clearly a member of the Holy Guard. Corgan immediately goes over and starts talking with him. And Like one of the guards at the post approaches all of you and says, "So what we got going here? Travelers, hunters? It wouldn't be
Exactly.
the first or the second?
Hunters.
Ah, yeah, we get a lot of that sometimes. All right, yeah, sounds good. Just remember, if you don't come out, we ain't gonna go in there and get your stuff."
That's fine.
We won't be in a position to worry about it.
He smiles. Good thing too, right? And the chains around the gate are heavy, and there's a huge padlock, and he shoves a key in there, undoes the chains, opens it up, and you all head inside.
Thank you.
Good luck. And you can hear the latching of the padlock behind you as you head
Fuck.
into it. Like everything in the graveyard is overtaken by this sort of like nightmarish gray haze. Solandra, how far does your how far does your low light vision go?
Checking. Background. Low light vision. A creature with low light vision can see twice as far as a human in starlight, moonlight, torchlight, and similar conditions of dim light.
Sounds good.
It retains the ability to distinguish color and detail under these conditions.
In any event, your low light vision has been partially handicapped. Like you can still see color and you can still see relatively well, but you can see only as far as everyone else. Where there should be illumination, you can see
You
that
guys
there is
fucking
shadow.
complained about District 2. A lot.
At least we have real coffee.
Corgan is walking around with his weapon drawn. He does not bother to sheath it.
It seems like a reasonable idea.
Yeah.
Like
Bolt is going to do the same.
There is no one and
Clementine
nothing.
staff is already out.
There is no one and nothing that you're. He remarks, "There's no one and nothing you're going to run into here that doesn't want to kill you."
Good point.
Just a matter of finding the right thing that wants to kill us.
That's going to be the nasty part. Everybody make a perception check.
You got it.
Those who do not have low light vision get a -4 penalty.
Brother, I think has perception too.
Do halflings have low light
Oh!
vision?
Wow!
Halflings
waste.
do not have
Alright.
low light vision.
Okay.
Um,
Or
so I actually got a 20 on that one. So, 26.
Well, you, Corgan, and Brother all clearly see something shambling down
Like I
from
said, what a
between these
waste.
two mausoleums. The two of you can roll initiative. Everyone else will just go after it.
19. I'll put it in the chat.
Sweet. There we go. Let me just figure out what this thing is.
So that thing is coming towards us.
That thing is distinctly coming towards you.
I don't suppose it's a morgue. That'd be a bit too much of a coincidence.
Sadly, it is not. as it comes like hurtling towards you out of the darkness.
So it's coming towards us. Do I have a chance to hit it with the disrupt? Do I have any other ranged attacks? I'm not big on range. Probably better off expending it on something defensive. I'm going to toss up a shield.
Sounds good. Oh God. There is a Ah, that's not what I'm looking for. Damn it. There's gotta be. The two great tastes that taste great together. Oh, man. Oh, well. Oh, wow. What? It's only a... Alright, whatever. Screw it. Oh, okay. Alright, in any event. Yeah,
I am also activating my first minute of flight for the day.
Sounds good.
Enough that, yeah, that seems to be pretty much just a at will thing.
So you cast shield?
Yep.
The thing that comes out of the darkness is a gigantic skeleton. It's like almost 9 feet tall.
Ugh.
And Salandra, it charges you immediately. What is your armor class?
22.
Sounds good.
Now.
It is wielding some sort of gigantic chunk of gnarled iron that it salvaged from some grave or other. You are able to deftly step out of its path, and thanks to your shield, like you can see an invisible force send its great club moving slightly away from you until it just smashes into until it just smashes into the ground.
Now, I'm a little unclear about how attacks of opportunity work, but is he open to attack of opportunity because he's charging us?
No. If you take an action on your turn to ready against a charge, then if you have a weapon that's capable of doing so, you can attack someone while they are charging, and if you're able to like kill them, they don't get to do the charge.
Got it.
Similarly, like if you set up a wall of spears, they'll be like, I don't want to charge into that. That's bad. So this thing is really big, its club is really big, and its arms are really long. As Corgan steps in with his greatsword to try to attack it, it has enough time to respond and try to attack him in turn.
Okay. Are we in initiative at this point, or is this a surprise round? Or
you are in initiative at this point.
What was that?
You are in initiative.
Oh,
so,
is this still the same round where I cast shield? Or?
Yes. Yes, it is the same round in which you cast shield.
Okay.
That being said, it is able to land a hit on Corgan. And he's not like totally messed up, but it clearly hurt more than he wanted it to. But he is able to follow it up with his blade and deal some damage to the terrible creature. Then it is Clementine's turn.
Wonderful. I am going to, I've got, Summon Nature's Ally 1. Sorry, I'm just looking at the creature list.
Of Summon Nature's Ally 1? They're not great.
I'm gonna summon an eagle.
Go get him, Eagle. Go get him.
Go get him, eagle.
Oh. I'm just visualizing a bird flying into a windshield.
So this eagle suddenly exists, and it's just like, why am I here? Oh, hello. You summoned me because you need my assistance. I will help you. On the next turn, the eagle will be able to act. But this turn, Nikolai can act.
All right. How far away am I from this thing? Like, will I be able to move and attack it this turn?
Yes.
All right, let's do that.
And you can tell that it is so ungainly that since it already tried to attack Corgan, it won't be able to also attack you.
Excellent.
You have a bastard
I'm
sword,
going
right?
to, I do.
Okay,
I'm not two-handing it, though.
that's fine.
And if you said something, I didn't hear it.
No, I just said that that's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going... Is it holding the Great Club in both hands, or is it just, like, one-handing it?
It is definitely holding the Great Club in both of its hands.
Alright, I'm going to try to give my all and attack one of its arms. See if I can't sever it.
Make a combat maneuver roll.
I would love to. So, make sure I'm on the right page. Alright, my CMB is 8. Which gives me a total of 16.
That is not enough to strike the arm in a way that will structurally that will jeopardize the structural integrity of the arm.
Okay.
Yeah, he is able to sort of like shrug off the blow, but you can tell that he didn't like it. Like,
Great.
there was some instinct in that ogre, and the immediate thought was, no, I need both of my arms, or else I can't use the club anymore.
Oh, great.
It knows enough to know that this chunk of metal makes it more efficient at killing. In any event, back to Solandra's turn.
All right, so this is the beginning of a new round?
God damn it. Yes.
Okay, because I should have used spell combat last round, but I didn't realize he was going to be right on top of us in the same round, so it was dumb. All right, so this round I am going to use spell combat, and I think what I'm going to do is go and attempt to hit him first with a normal attack.
In order to get in, you're gonna have to get in closer to him. At this range, he has you at an arm's reach, and an ogre's arm's reach is longer than your sword's reach.
Oh.
So if you want to move in,
lovely.
he's gonna get a chance. Like it will jeopardize your ability to engage him in combat. So he will have an opportunity to hit you with his club. You could try casting a spell from a distance if you want.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot that's useful from a distance, so I will suck up that particular risk and see what I can do here. I really need something to, like, mobility or something. So if I were to vanish first and then move, he wouldn't be able to react, right?
Let me look up skeletons. Probably not.
That would get me in there without sustaining a... All right, spell combat. I'm going to vanish first, and then I'm going to engage close.
Sounds good. You go invisible, you get
All
in there. It does not know where you have gone. Oh.
And I'm trying to, essentially, since I'm vanished and I'm flying, I'm going to try to see if I can flank him since he's already fighting the two others.
Oh yeah, it is trivial to flank this creature.
And I got a 20 on my hit.
You hit barely.
I'm not sure if critical. Oh no, sorry, 20, natural 20.
Oh.
So total is like 28.
Yeah, you definitely hit. I'll spare you the math unless you want to see how much damage you did.
Do criticals matter against skeletons?
They do in Pathfinder.
What was that?
In Pathfinder, they do.
Yes.
In
Oh,
Pathfinder,
I thought that was a waste.
no.
Yay.
In Pathfinder, precision-based attacks do half as much damage against undead and constructs.
Okay.
But that does mean they still do more damage. That being said, I assure you, you have destroyed this thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you wanna roll up the score and see how hard you destroy it, you can go right ahead.
Nope, that's just fine.
Cool.
All right, so I confirm then.
Actually,
I
that's fair.
confirm.
That's fair. Roll to confirm.
Yeah, I did confirm. And
Yeah, you.
assuming you hit him on a 20, so I should be able to confirm that one pretty easily.
Yes.
And then damage is a 9 times. Is it times 2 on this on a scimitar?
It should be times 2 on a scimitar.
I think so. Yeah, times 2, so 18.
Yeah, no, you wipe this thing out. You cut it at the spine. You sneak up behind it, cut it at the spine, and the top of its torso falls over as the bones like lose their position and just like explode out, and the chunk of metal just like hits the stairs, damaging them a little bit, and the legs just like fall over in the other direction.
That was much less imposing than I thought.
Their
The bigger
size
they
is
are, the
often,
harder they fall.
Corgan comments, their size is often deceptive. Undead aren't known for their longevity. That's not the point. The point is they can attack with wanton abandon. And you can see that like the hit he took from that club, it's like, he is nursing a spot on his body, and then he touches it, and a stream of white light comes out of his hands, and the wound closes, and his armor repairs itself.
That's a neat trick.
Fringe benefits.
Huh.
Now, do you know where we might find one of these morgues? I would prefer not to just wander around until we find it.
Well, we have a list of names of people who are likely to rise as morgues. Would that help?
Definitely.
All right, we brought the list that Alexander had given us. So, any of these
Clementine
nearby?
was probably carrying it.
I'll confess, I'm not exactly a graveyard navigator, but at least it's someplace we can start. Everybody make a perception roll to just like pour over graves. Okay, so you can make a perception roll to either pour over graves to try to find likely morgue subjects, or you can make a perception roll to try to find undead that will try to accost you.
Undead. Perception roll for undead.
I'm gonna look at the graves.
Yeah, I think that's. I'll be on the undead watch. We'll let Clementine be searching the graves.
With a 6. I'm getting out a new D20.
Nice.
This die goes in the punishment bag.
Well, I have the feeling you guys are gonna think I'm making stuff up, but this is like the third 20 I've rolled on this die, so I don't know what the fuck is going
Stop
on.
stealing my luck.
It's weighted.
I don't know. And it's like, believe me, I would be saving it for times where it was like super useful. So 26.
Is my eagle still around? Could it look around for
Oh my god, it can!
Yes.
So,
Oh yeah, my eagle got a 20.
it also gets a plus 10 and has dark vision.
Holy shit, my eagle got a 30.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I think eagles are pretty perceptive.
so your eagle, so like you guys are looking for graves, you guys are checking out, like, Solandra, you're able to spot a skeleton. It looks pretty normal, but it's shaking in a way that you don't particularly like.
I'll point it out to Corgan.
Corgan comments, I think that's an exploding skeleton. We'd best keep our distance.
If we can avoid incidental fights until we run into the morgue, it's probably...
Agreed. But you guys see that the eagle is perched happily on a grave, and it is marked with one of the names on your list, and you can see that when you look so you look at the headstone, and like it's marked with just one of the names, just like Gragan Rursk, and there is a giant hole where there should be a hole with a body in it, and there is no body in it.
Oh, that's reassuring.
Anybody who wants to try to track this creature can make a survival roll.
Heck yeah.
I'll roll.
A total of 20.
14.
Nothing useful.
Fantastic. It is not difficult to track a morgue, and you manage to not screw it up.
Wonderful.
When you see the morgue, it has found a fresh corpse, and it appears to be like its intestinal tentacles are doing something to the body, but you don't know what. It doesn't seem to have noticed you yet.
How much time has passed since our last fight?
Far more than a minute.
What was that?
Far more than a minute, but I would say no more than 3. You guys are moving
Just curious
quick.
if my shield is still relevant.
I cannot believe that you misheard me that much.
Oh no, you said like just 3 minutes, so my shield is still up for a little while.
Okay. I was under the impression that you had not heard anything that I had said.
We
No,
heard bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Oh
That was
my
it.
god. What is wrong with Discord? Like it says I have a
no
totally
idea.
green connection. I have a 41 millisecond ping. What does it want from me?
I don't think I'm hearing anything unusual from Molly or
Cap.
Cap. Sorry.
Okay.
And I think I'm hearing both of you pretty clearly. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yeah.
So I think it's you, Ronald.
I don't like
Just you, bub.
like here's the thing, like I have it on full output. I have it so that I never stop transmitting. I turned the voice gate all the way down.
Are you using your Wi-Fi?
No, I'm hardwired. I'm hardwired into the router.
That's weird.
Just fuck you in particular, I guess.
Fucking all my roommates need to stop downloading all that porn. I'm running my D&D game, ma'am.
Who downloads porn anymore?
Certainly not me. Anyway,
Anyway,
so yeah, you sneak up. You haven't successfully snuck up on this morgue all the way, but you have what could be the beginning of sneaking up on a morgue.
Is my eagle still around?
Summon Nature's Ally 1.
I think this might be a good time to cast some prep spells. So I'll mirror image.
No, the eagle is gone. It only lasts for 1 round per level.
Oh, okay. That's okay. He did a good job.
He did it good. He did it good. So you cast mirror image. Everybody make a stealth roll.
$21?
It's good. Clementine, what'd you get on your stealth rolls?
Oh, you didn't hear? I got it.
No, I heard you, Solandra. But I
Okay.
didn't.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was just a.
Nah, all y'all gotta avoid making noise. Don't wake the morgue, kiddos.
21.
Oh, stealth. Fuck me. Oh, this D20 is much more.
Don't forget about your armor check penalty.
No.
Well, yeah, you're right. That's an excellent question for me to ask the DM at this point in time.
What is your armor check penalty?
Yeah,
With a mithril breastplate?
with a mithril chain vest.
Oh, mithril chain shirt? 0.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, awesome. That's great. 17 then.
Here's another funny little trick for all you fucking nerds out there. A mithril buckler lowers the armor check penalty, and so if you don't have shield proficiency and you try to use a shield, it counts against all your attack rolls. The armor check penalty of the shield counts against all your attack rolls, and if you are a wizard, it also counts against your spellcasting ability. But a mithril buckler has no armor check penalty and therefore cannot count against you in melee combat or ranged combat. In addition, it is so light that it also does not have a magic chance of failure. So, always have a mithril buckler. Always.
Why would you ever play a class that isn't proficient in shields?
Because I want to throw fucking lightning bolts.
Yeah, I'm pretty... Like, in my case, I have to keep a hand free for spell combat.
Who needs shields? Am I right? Who needs shields when you have mithril bucklers? Am I right? You can enchant the shit out of that thing. You can just have a +5 mithril buckler. Boom, you get +6 to your armor class for nothing. And then you put greater fortification on that, and boom, you're immune to critical hits. But anyway, enough Timmy Power Gamer. So you guys are moving towards it, and like Solandra, you whisper the utterances in order to cast Mirror Image, and before you're done, it's already turned and looked at all of you. Its wretched intestinal tongue makes this bizarre hissing noise. It's almost like breathing, but very hoarse. Everybody roll initiative.
Alright, so this initiative?
Yes. Wow, I am like...
I forgot about the audio.
Initiative. Fuck me.
17.
10.
Having a high dex is handy.
It's great.
18.
Clementine got an 18?
Yep.
How quick is Clementine anyway? She's a halfling, so.
She's pretty quick. She's got a plus. Let's see, I've got a dex modifier of 2, a +2, so
Pretty quick.
pretty quick.
Speaking of quick, Clementine, you go first.
Alright. I'm going to cast... I had my spell page right up here of my spell. Aggressive Thundercloud.
Let me look that up real quick.
Okay.
What the fuck is an aggressive thundercloud?
Well, it's different than a friendly thundercloud.
Right.
It, a crackling spherical storm cloud flies in whichever direction you point and deals electrical damage to those it strikes. It has a fly speed of 20 feet with perfect maneuverability. If it enters a space that contains a creature, the storm stops moving for the round and deals 3d6 points of electrical damage to that creature. Though a successful reflex save negates that damage.
Well,
Well,
it's awfully cute, the morgue.
oh no, that's the thundercloud. Oh, the morgue that is being horribly terrorized by that thundercloud. In any event, so yeah, you throw this thundercloud right on top of the creature. It will make a reflex save. That being said, it does provide the creature concealment.
It does, but it's a big ass thundercloud, so I think I can tell like where the cloud is.
This is true. How big is the cloud? 5 feet, 20 feet. Move.
5 feet.
Okay, so
It
it's
fills a 5-foot diameter sphere.
got it. So it's a very localized pile of thunder. So you conjure this thundercloud, and it envelops the morgue, and you can't see what happens inside of it. Salandra, it's your turn.
Well, since I don't want to follow the jump right into the thundercloud myself, I am going to lift off. So engaging another minute of flight, and I will. Well, I don't want to waste another spell just yet. So I am going to attempt to hit it through concealment with my Disrupt Undead.
Go for it.
So
Do you
that's a
want
ranged touch attack, right? So
Do you want me to roll the roll versus concealment, or would you prefer to?
I have no idea. How does it work?
So you roll a d100, and if you get under a 20, then you miss, and if you get over a 20, then you hit.
Ah, okay.
Well, then you have a chance to hit.
If you prefer to roll it, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll do it.
Do it to it, Huey Lewis.
Okay, and I got a 71.
All right, so you get a chance to hit it. So
All right,
now
and
make
this is
a
a
ranged
touch armor.
attack.
Okay, what's its touch AC?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh. All right. So I rolled a 15, and my
You're good.
touch bonus my range bonus.
You are good.
Magic is I
You
think
hit it.
plus
You
7.
got it. You got it, buddy.
Okay.
You got it.
And I do a massive amount of damage with this attack. Ooh, 6. Actually, maximum.
Nice. Optimal outcome.
Yeah.
Biff. Are you flying? How high up are you flying?
I probably just made around went up around 20 feet.
Okay. So it steps out of the
So there
thundercloud.
are. How many spinning Salandras are there?
That's a good question.
I think 4.
So it steps out of the cloud, and it. So there are four Salandras, right?
Well, 5 counting me.
Okay. All right. So it looks up at you. It seems completely unfazed by lightning. It does not look singed at all. But so it looks up at Salandra, and it just considers how far a 20-foot fall is. And then decides to attack somebody else. How far can this thing move? Not far enough. So it moves towards the rest of the group. And it's not within range. Like it's not within range to like swing its hands or punch anything. And then the tongue comes into play. Clementine, what is your touch AC?
Oh no! Let's see. Fine question. Oh shit, I do not have that listed.
You should have that
How
listed.
do I,
Your touch armor class is your dexterity, and that's it.
And any dodge or anything else you got
Right.
that's dex-like.
Okay, so my dex is 14.
Okay, so you have a +2 dexterity bonus to your armor class, so your touch AC is 12.
Okay.
The tongue touches you.
Oh.
Ah!
Make a fortitude save.
We didn't take any of those freaking paralysis potions.
You didn't ask
Idiots.
for any.
Idiots. Oh,
Let's see.
how did we forget that?
I don't know. You
We
scrubs.
mentioned it like 3 times.
18.
Okay, so this thing walks towards Clementine, and the tongue whips out of its mouth, and like it makes the faintest touch on Clementine's shoulder, and she is down. Clementine, you have been paralyzed for 4 minutes. We'll see you
Oh.
later, pal.
Fuck.
Toby is beside himself. Next goes
All right,
on to
hopefully
Corgan.
Corgan is actually useful here.
Yeah, Corgan looks at this thing, and then his eyes start glowing an iridescent blue, and he charges it with his greatsword.
All right, I think you are phasing out again.
You are.
Oh my
I'm on the edge of
god.
my seat.
Okay, let me close some of these extra pages. They might be screwing up my internet for no reason. All right, do I sound better now?
You do.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Corgan is going to charge it. His eyes begin glowing a bizarre iridescent blue. And then he swings his greatsword at the creature. And he is able to hit the creature. Oh. Okay.
And I think we lost you again.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm sorry. I'm reading
Oh, okay.
rules right now.
Sorry.
So he hits this thing,
Is he
and
make-
it takes a lot of damage. Hot damn. Okay. Also, this thing has a save to make. It fails that save miserably. Like, you can see it. You have never seen, like, oh, you guys don't have any experience with undead. It begins to cower in fear. That's not something that undead generally do. And Corgan rips a chunk out of this thing. Nikolai, it's your turn. Nikolai, it's your turn.
Whose turn?
Nikolai, how long, like, okay, what did you hear from what I said?
Something. Your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, but what did you hear about how much damage the attack did? Or, like, how effective the attack was?
Just you
Yeah.
scared it and you ripped a big chunk out of it.
Okay,
Cowering chunk. Yep.
okay,
Cowering
all right.
chunk.
Just wanted to make sure that got translated. Okay.
That did.
Then it was like a little bit of silence, and then we just heard
Turn.
your turn.
God damn it. I'm going to try increasing my gain. Let's see if that helps.
Okay.
So, Nikolai, it is your turn.
Who's?
I literally just heard your turn again.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong? Nikolai, it is your turn.
Okay, I heard that. I was hoping it was gonna be me.
Jesus
Clementine doesn't
Christ.
look
Oh.
Like, I've
It doesn't look
literally
like Clementine's
closed
bleeding
everything
or
down.
anything.
There's nothing left. You're looking at a dead computer. I might as well be running fucking DOS. There's nothing here, man.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Someday we'll actually do this around a real table, and then I'm still gonna pretend like I don't hear what you're saying.
Oh my god.
But it'll be a joke then.
But then I'll kill you in real life.
All right. Well, Clementine doesn't look like she's been like
She's been slobbered over.
okay. So I'm going to join Corgan in attacking this thing.
Go for it.
All right. Come on, D20 of Destiny. With a 21?
A 21 does not hit.
Motherfuck. Okay.
Back to the top of initiative. Clementine.
I think Clementine's the top.
Yes, Clementine, you gurgle. No, you're not asleep. It's worse. Like, it's not that you're asleep. You are fully conscious. You just can't move or react or do anything.
Oh, fuck. That's
The-
worse.
And even worse, you have like morgue slobber on you, and you can't wipe it away.
Yep.
Oh.
Like at this point, you don't even have the ability to blink, so your eyes are just open and you can't close them.
Oh, God.
Your eyes are gonna be so dry by the end of this. Solandra, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm hoping that that while the morgue is cowering, it's not making good attacks of opportunity.
Wait,
And I'm going to.
never mind, Nikolai. You
swoop-
did hit the creature.
Oh, I did?
Yes, its armor class has
Really?
been lowered because it's terrified.
Oh, fuck yes! That plus my strength, which is a +3, so 11.
All right, cool.
So I'm a little bit unclear if I can move and do both of my spell combat attacks, or if I can only do that when I'm like standing, or in place.
I think so. Like casting a spell is a standard action, attacking is a standard action. I'm reasonably certain that you can't do both in the same. You can't move and do both in the same turn.
Okay, so it's like a. I can still make my spell strike though, so that's what I'll do.
Yes.
I'm gonna move and make a spell strike, so that means I'm channeling my shocking grasp through my through brother. I'm also as a swift action making brother keen and giving him a flaming attribute.
Slick.
So that's costing me a point out of my. So if I can get. And all right, so it's a spell strike. I rolled a 15, which isn't within my critical range.
No.
So I'm just checking to see what my total hit was on this one. I think it's like a. When I'm not doing spell combat, I think I have like a.
15 is within the critical threatening range of a scimitar.
Yep, with a keen scimitar, yeah.
Yes.
And so, all right, I'm plus 10 when I'm not doing spell combat, so that's a 25. So that's an easy hit,
Yeah.
based on what Holt.
So
And
roll to
let's see
confirm.
what the. And I rolled an 18, so that must be that's probably a confirm.
That is definitely a confirmation. You have just critical hit this morgue.
All right, so the critical comes on the shocking grasp. All right, let me roll for damage on the scimitar first. All right, so brother does 9 points of regular damage and 4 points of fire damage, so 13.
Jesus.
And then my shocking grasp. Do I take 5 dice 6 and then double the roll, or do I roll 10 dice 6?
I would roll it, whichever you prefer.
Bad. 46 points of damage
Jesus
from the
Christ.
shocking grasp.
Yeah, this thing flops over, like the surge of electricity courses through it, and the organ within it starts exploding, covering you all in wretched morgue juice. And then by the time Solandra is done manhandling this poor thing's body, you are all spattered, and it is a heap on the ground.
Oh.
Oof.
Clementine, don't you groan. You're not conscious for another 3 minutes.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
It doesn't wear off just because it's dead.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yoinks.
we were going to be using potions to protect ourselves from paralyzation, weren't we?
That would
Oh,
have been smart.
But
I walk over. I walk
You
over to
forgot
Clementine. I walk over to Clementine. I get a piece of cloth and I try to wipe the slobber off of her. Oh, and I close her eyes too.
Clementine, this is almost worse because like you can hear them walking around doing things and talking things, but now you don't even have the benefit of being able to see death coming if it approaches.
Oh no.
That being said, your eyes no longer sting.
That's true. And presumably I saw Salandra come over and do that, so.
Yes.
Well, that was disgusting.
Corgan nods.
One down.
What is it exactly? Oh, all right.
Don't forget, you need to collect the bodies.
Gotta bring the bodies.
Are we getting the bodies or the hearts, or what exactly were we supposed to be getting from the things?
Clementine knows.
Clementine told you the bone marrow.
The bone marrow.
It's probably the bones probably split up a little bit under the electricity.
Corgan tilts his head. That's an unusual bounty. Usually they ask for the tongues.
Well, might as well take that too, just in case.
Nikolai, Salandra, roll bluff on Corgan.
Me?
Both of you.
Crap.
Okay. $14.
What's my skill? Oh, my straight +0 diplomacy. I got a 17.
Hooey! In any event, he seems pretty fooled. He's just like, well, that's an unorthodox bounty, but maybe you're working with an amateur.
Yeah, but like I said, since he said that people offer bounties in the tongues, what the hell?
Don't tell me you intend to double dip. In any
We're
event.
not gonna. In any event.
We'll try to harvest the marrow while Clementine's resting.
Covering.
Harvesting the marrow is tricky business. You're better off just bringing the bones with you.
Well,
Let's say, do any of you have craft alchemy? No, you can't harvest the bones.
okay. Well, in that case,
Well,
we should.
if you wait for me to wake up.
Okay. Well, I have the feeling that Toby's going to be needing to do this because I can't really carry much more.
God damn it. Toby looks at you with just like utter loathing as you put this corpse in a sack and then tie the sack to his
We're gonna wait
pacs.
for Clementine before we start fucking with Toby. So we'll just disjoint the bones so that they're easier transportation.
Yeah, Corgan's eyes still haven't stopped glowing yet. That's just a thing.
I have to admit that's kind of cool.
It shows them Kira's light.
Whatever. Still cool.
So yeah,
And perhaps
after the
Ronald is talking. Sorry, Ronald. I heard you now.
After the requisite 4 minutes, Clementine, you are suddenly able to move again, but you are slow and sluggish.
Oh. That was a good hit, guys.
Oh, sorry we forgot about the potions. That's just fucking amateur move.
I forgot to.
Well,
You
we
just-
killed.
Just stay behind me for the next one, Clementine.
I don't want you to get hit. That stuff's nasty.
I have a shield. I'll be fine.
Keep telling Clementine that. Halt, your shield will not protect you from a rampaging tongue.
She doesn't know that.
She doesn't know that.
Yeah, but presumably Holt's got is better fortitude.
That's
do.
absolutely certain.
Certain.
So Corgan pipes up. He's looking at the list of names and he's like, I think the Hie Dua is close nearby. I remember burying him. He was a terrible man.
Did we secure the bones and the tongue?
Yes.
Or does Clementine want to harvest the marrow? Is it probably
Yeah,
take long?
give me a minute. Let me take a look at it.
About to say, roll craft alchemy, but don't fuck it up.
If we have to kill...
Random question. Does having... Sorry, I've got my equipment here. Question mark. Does having a living steel sickle help me confer any bonuses when harvesting this shit?
Living steel? What is that?
Yeah. It's basically like regular steel, but druids can use it.
Oh. I am going to say no.
Okay. I got a 22.
Nice work. You are able
you.
to lighten the load on Toby.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
And you
I give him a little kiss on the head.
And, like, the blood marrow that comes out of the bones of this thing is pulsating.
That is revolting.
To the beat of an
I'm not going to
invisible
think about
heart.
it too hard. Ugh.
I'll never complain about giant cockroaches again.
Yeah.
No, I'm fucking lying. Sorry.
So, Corgan, like, offers to lead the way to Hie Dua's grave.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, he leads you there.
Corgan, do you have any potions of protection from paralysis?
No. Sorry. I wasn't told what we were hunting. Just that my presence was needed in the graveyard to fight evil. If I had known, I would have brought a few. I have healing potions if anyone gets hurt. And although there are members of my order who are able to remove paralysis, I am not one of them.
Understandable.
You hear Salandra muttering something under her breath. It sounds sort of like, I will not be a dumb fuck, I will not be a dumb fuck, I will not be a dumb fuck.
A good mantra.
Great mantra. Oh man. Crazy shit. Although I can remove the disease from the sick.
I'm going to expend my pearls of power and get back my first level spells.
Good call. So you guys come up to the grave of Hie Dua. And there still appears to be dirt upon it. Everybody make a perception check.
I'm gonna light myself on fire.
I got a critical 1 that makes a total of 8.
I really like this purple dye. It's awesome.
Very good of you.
Your purple dye.
23.
Well, you guys are checking out the gravestones. You don't seem to be getting molested by any other undead, but Salandra, right next to the grave of Hie Dua is someone else named Hap Hie. Make an intelligence roll,
I remember
Salandra.
that.
Okay, Hapie. Is that also on the list?
You are correct.
Oh crap.
At which point, everybody rolls initiative.
Come on,
Alright, come on,
Yes.
purple dye. Oh,
Yes.
16. 20.
10.
18.
And
Give me a second. I'm moving things around. Oh, wait, shit. What? Damn it, I done goofed.
sorry, Ronald, I think we're chopping again.
God damn it. The wonders of the internet, am I right?
Yep. I mean, I think I heard like a fragment of a word from you, so I'm not really sure. But presuming that you'd said more than that.
I
was-
was assuming that you were being quiet this whole time.
Oh my god. No, I was simply commenting that it's difficult to just like arrange a new initiative after like I have a notepad document with all the initiatives on it. And it's just difficult to switch back and forth. In any event, so
Well, at least you only have one enemy at it. You know, that must make things a little easier.
oh, it's a little
Mass
easier,
combats are a pain in the ass.
aren't they? That being said, so like you two guys, the four of you are hunkered around these graves, checking out the names on them, and then like, as you do, I'm gonna roll some d4s to see who gets grabbed.
Mm.
Of course, we can't go into a graveyard fighting undead without getting grabbed by something.
No, of course not.
We are a slave to tropes.
So Halt and Clementine, from underneath you come two skeletal bony hands, and they begin climbing up your bodies. And then the morgues are at the door.
Morgues? Did you say morgues?
Yes.
I do believe that is what he said.
Oh, fuck.
Did you really just jinx us by teasing Ronald about multiple combat enemies?
No, I saw on the list that there was Hiei Dua and Hap Hiei, and I was like, It's always easier to kill when you have a friend.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Fuck.
In any event, like once they're done climbing out of the dirt, like they don't have the time or the prescience to use their tongues, but they do have like one fist free. So you each get punched.
Can we, like, be in, Alright, never mind. Is this a surprise attack?
This is not a surprise attack. They just went first in initiative.
Oh, okay. Oh, they have initiative. Oh, we're so fucked. Oh, man.
So Halt, what is your armor class?
22.
So this thing punches you. And it hits you for 10 points of damage, which isn't bad, but what is your combat maneuver defense?
My CMD is 20.
Okay. So this thing like it foregoing a just straight punch to your armor, it wraps its hand around your throat with enough force to deal 10 points of damage, and it begins to squeeze. Clementine, what is your armor class?
Ow. 16.
Okay. You also get a hand around the throat. Unfortunately, the hand around your throat deals 15 damage instead of 10.
Christ. And my throat's littler.
Your throat is so tiny, it doesn't even need the other hand. Salandra, it's your turn.
Sorry?
It is your turn, Salandra.
Oh, I get to go first. Alright, am I within melee range of these fuckers?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What was that?
Definitely.
Ronald, sorry.
God damn it. You almost certainly, absolutely, definitely, I can't think of any more synonyms, are within melee of these things. They took
All
they took the surprise over being surrounded. Like, you have them clearly surrounded. You automatically have them flanked, but that was the price that they paid for, like, getting the jump on you and just, like, starting to choke two of the members of the party.
Okay, sorry. You were
No, I
phased
know.
out there for a little while too. So.
I understand. I
okay.
have Magic the Gathering phasing.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I think that the best bet is to do do spell combat. So I'm going to use a swift action once more. Expend another point from my arcane pool. Add keen and flaming back to brother. I presume that those are long gone, as are my mirror images. It's been 5 minutes since the last fight, so I presume recovery time for Clementine exhausted the spell. So I'm just going to try to hope to do as much damage as I can before things get ugly. All right, brother, it's all on you. All right, so first the normal attack. And that is fuck you. It was a. Pardon, I was channeling Salandra there for a second. That was a 13. So I presume that is a miss.
13 total? Do you mean to say that the roll is a total of a 13?
Total of a 13, yeah.
That is almost certainly a miss. Yes, you have missed.
All right, my spell strike. And that's a 16 plus 8, so 24.
That is most certainly a hit.
And that's also within my critical range. And this spell strike is with Shocking Grasp.
Right. I know how you love your Shocking Grasp.
Yep. So, critical. And that is a 23 for confirmation.
That's a confirmation.
So, all right. Brother does 9 points for just the blade, 2 points of fire, and 15. That's 22, 23. Really? How odd. 46, which I think is what I got the last time, too.
So that's a total of 54 damage with this attack, so that creature needs to make a fortitude save. Okay. So you exceed the Morg's massive damage threshold. It's not strictly speaking dead, but you hit it so hard that it smashes into pieces. Like the claws, its clawed hands scrabble around as it's like one of its legs frantically hops as another one like tries to right itself, and the undulating pile of tentacle and tongue begins to warble and wrap around. Halt, the hand that is wrapped around your throat is still squeezing, although the force and power that holds it there is growing more and more weak. It's no longer blocking off your airflow, but it is still grabbed. It's got a death grip around your neck. It's going to take some effort to pry it loose, but it is purely decorative now.
Oh, good.
You have a new necklace.
Oh, get it off me.
Get this thing off, or so help me. So Corgan goes, and like he looks at you with just like fascination and happiness, and he requests that you duck as he swing his great sword over your head towards the terrible creature. His eyes do that glowing thing. the morgue is not looking at him, but like it still cringes under the gaze of the paladin. And he hits it very hard for a large amount of damage. Because, fun fact, Smite Evil does double damage versus undead. Because fuck you. Fuck zombies. Clementine, you are currently in the grasp of terrible morgue. What do?
Turn into a bear.
You would love to turn into a bear. Unfortunately, you do not have the focus in order to do so. You also cannot, like, speak to invoke the transformation. Actually, let me look that up.
Shouldn't she be able to make a concentration roll, maybe?
I don't know. I'm gonna check. Treant monk. I fight for the trees. All right, wild shape. Boop. Okay. Loses the ability to speak. Can use the ability an additional number of times. The effect lasts for an hour. Options of new form. Changing form is standard action and doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. You know what? I'm gonna say that you can turn into a bear.
Sweet, I turn into a bear.
Cool. That being said, its hand is still around your throat. Like you turn into a bear and you're on your hind legs and like it rises to meet you, but it's still choking you.
Fuck.
Meanwhile, at the top of initiative, Salandra, what is your touch AC?
Oh crap. I have it'll be 14, I think. Yeah, 14.
You get hit by the tongue.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Make a fortitude save.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Okay, come on. Be a good die. Alright, so I the 12. Fortitude is... I think I'm screwed. Where's my... Oh, here, it's plus 6. I got an 18. And paralysis is not the same as sleep, right? Because elves are immune to sleep.
It is not the same as sleep, and although elves are immune to the paralysis caused by ghouls, you are not immune to the paralysis caused by morgues.
Yep.
You are paralyzed for 2 minutes. Meanwhile, Clementine, what is your combat maneuver defense in bear form?
The same as a bear, right?
Yes, actually, that's how that works. You're correct. Except it's the same, except the bear has Clementine's strength score and dexterity and constitution scores.
The bear has Clementine's strength score?
It does. That's how wild shape works in Pathfinder now.
That's a pretty
Sorry,
wimpy
did you
bear.
say combat maneuver bonus?
Combat maneuver defense, not bonus.
Defense. Defense is 19.
Okay. So it maintains the chokehold. You are running out of oxygen. What is your constitution score?
910. My constitution is 12.
Okay, you are beginning to suffocate. Make a fortitude save.
What? $14.
Congratulations. You avoid losing consciousness and taking damage from suffocation.
I'm gonna. Can I raise my bear claws and maul the shit out of this guy?
Oh, absolutely not. It's not even your
I
turn.
cannot.
No. Salandra,
Oh,
it's your
okay.
turn. You're paralyzed. Holt, it's your turn.
Hi. So this thing's in pieces on the floor, right? I asked because I have to clarify some details because of you cutting in and out.
Yes, the morgue that had been previously holding you hostage is now scattered into chunks after Salandra hit it so hard that it fucking exploded with electricity.
Awesome.
But there is another morgue that is currently choking Clementine, even though Clementine has transformed into a bear. Like the
And it also It also paralyzed Salandra, was the other piece.
Yes.
Awesome. I attack this thing.
Go for it. Roll that beautiful attack footage.
All right, cool. With a 20.
Unfortunately, 20 is one number too low.
Isn't it cowering still from
It
the
is
paladin?
cowering, which lowers its armor class from 23 to 21.
Ah.
So close, and yet so far.
Cool.
Corrigan slaps it. Tries to. And hits, but he is no longer smiting evil. Sadly. So he does much reduced damage. Cool. Clementine, it's your turn.
I want to maul
Unfortunately,
the shit out of this guy.
you would love to maul the shit out of him. Unfortunately, you are just too busy trying to get his hands out from around your throat. And he is currently controlling the grapple that you are in. So make a combat maneuver roll.
Let's see. Where's my bear roll? $21?
21? That does not break this thing's vice grip on your throat and body.
Fuck.
A Morg's combat maneuver defense is absurdly high. Back to the Morg. So it's gonna keep choking you. The tongue touches Corrigan. Corrigan makes a fortitude save.
Please don't fail.
Thanks, Corgan. We need you.
He does not fail. Gotta love adding that charisma bonus to all saves.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about being a paladin.
It's about the best. It's the best damn part of being a paladin. Motherfucker, I don't fail saves. Anyway, but it is still choking you, Clementine. So yeah, that tongue is like whipped around, like it's coming out under the backside of its neck, and it's just flopping around, smacking you guys. Meanwhile, Clementine, make another fortitude save.
$17.
17. You are closer and closer to losing consciousness, but you're not there yet.
I got big bear lungs.
I got those big bear lungs. Salandra, you are paralyzed. Holt, it's your turn.
Try to attack this thing
Go for it.
with a 22.
That hits.
Yes. For 8 damage.
You slap it, it gets slapped.
Nice.
It is bloodied. Well, you know, it's not bloodied because it doesn't have blood, but like its bones are its old bones ache. Let me tell you about the tale of me old bones. Oh, Corgan's got one other ability he can use to kelp, but I don't remember what it is.
Isn't like the smite?
No, he's been using Smite Evil. He doesn't have any more of those, but there is one thing that he does have. So he drops. He drops the sword and he wraps his hands around this thing's wriggling little neck, and the white glow that had once healed his wounds appears again, and just like he just like the spinal column of this creature starts compressing until eventually there's nothing but dust and the head lolls off in a pile. and then as soon as it does, the hand wrapped around Clementine's throat loses all power and flops over. You ever hear a bear cough? It's really weird.
I change back to person.
Oh no. Corgan returns the favor that you paid Clementine and removes the morgue slobber from your body, and also closes your eyes out of kindness.
Okay, Salandra, we are right here. It will wear off in just a couple of minutes. Clementine sits next to her. I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder, and she does.
It is one terrifying couple of minutes.
Clementine will very croakily talk to her. Just like, you're all right. I know, that sucks. Yeah, we were idiots. Think about the coffee we're gonna drink when we get back to the town. I don't know why you like the darker stuff better than the light stuff. The light stuff tastes like blueberries. The dark stuff tastes like sadness. But I guess that's fitting because you seem to be pretty, bitter. But I think that's all just an act because you seem pretty nice to me. And so on and so forth.
Corgan takes Holt aside. I don't mean to alarm you, but I think something's coming.
Okay.
I don't know how well you can see in the dark, but do you see that over there?
Can I make a perception check?
Yes, at a +5 bonus because he's pointing it out.
Nice. No, I can't see shit. I got a 1.
A 1 for a total of...
No.
What's the total?
Oh, the total is fucking 3. Got a 3.
With a +5 bonus?
Oh, wait, no. Then it would be a 6. I can't do simple math. I have an intelligence score of 5.
Okay, so with an additional +5 bonus. A +5 on top of whatever your normal bonus is.
I'm a fucking idiot. 7.
Okay.
Or 8, because it's a 1. So 8. 8!
You know what? Fuck it. I want you to see it.
Thank you!
It's so horrifying that the botch resulted in you succeeding.
Like you start looking.
This is a pity perception roll.
Yeah, you look over and there is just a floating skull, and it's just sort of like, it is pretty far away. Like it's out of charging distance, but it's watching you.
What is that, Corgan?
It appears to be a floating skull, and it appears to be staring at us.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see that. Thanks for pointing that out. Is it attached to something?
No, it's just floating there and staring at us, which leads me to believe that it's here to keep an eye on us.
All right. So leave as quickly as possible, yes?
So, yes. Nikolai, could you round up the bones? I don't think we have time to wait for Salandra to regain consciousness.
All right. Clementine, can you be quiet for a second? Like five seconds? We have to move. Help me gather the bones. Just the whole thing. We don't have time for marrow extraction.
All right. Clementine helps load the bones onto Toby. Salandra, we're gonna pick you up. Yeah, don't worry, we've got you.
I presume that Salandra is just standing there with brother in her hand, like in mid-strike, almost.
Yeah, basically.
Is she like frozen or flopped down paralyzed?
Like floppy. So, there's only a couple of them. But,
Hey, Renell, can I fly while I'm paralyzed?
no.
Solandra just gently floats away.
Just floating. Where you end up, who knows?
I'll tie a string to you like a balloon.
Oh my god. Brilliant.
We're all going up.
So you all see that small motley crew start shambling towards you.
Oh, lovely.
And Corgan orders you all to run.
Add a character question real quick.
Shoot.
How long does wild shape last?
Wild shape lasts for an hour or until you choose to dismiss it.
Okay, I'm going to use another transformation and transform into a horse.
Into a what? Now you're the one who cut out. I didn't catch what you turned into.
A horse.
A horse! Who will ride the horse?
You should put Solandra on the horse.
Solandra.
They flop Solandra onto the horse and quickly
All right.
affix you to it.
I'm outie.
Everybody make an athletics roll. As a horse, you move so fucking fast. You don't, like, at this point, Clementine, you need to worry about, like, running away without them.
Gotcha.
I presume athletics roll is not for...
Yes, Solandra, you do not need to make an athletics roll. You are currently paralyzed.
That's what I thought.
19.
Nice work. Including your armor check penalty?
What armor check penalty?
Right. Including your heavy load penalty?
Oh, heavy load penalty. Then a 15. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I'm at medium load. I don't know what that penalty would be.
That is a -4.
Then yes,
Oh,
15.
fuck.
Got it. So, y'all start running. Hull, you sneak a peek over your shoulder. That horde got big fast.
They're fast zombies.
Not only did the horde get big fast, but they're not like particularly fast, but they're not particularly slow either. And they are heading towards you full force forward. Corgan is shouting instructions on the path through to get back to the nearest cemetery gate, but it is hard to hear his voice over the sound of moaning bodies.
Keep booking it.
Yeah. Clementine, make a wisdom roll.
You got it. $18.
You come up with a clever plan. You remember the gates are locked. They're always locked. If you run forward ahead, then your coming will urge them to unlock the gate before the rest get here.
I whinny loudly and go, meow, cruising ahead.
And you go so fast. You are moving like twice as fast as everyone who is not a horse. Toby is barely able to keep up. Holt, make another athletics roll.
All right. Nat 20, but -4, so 16.
Nice work. So you guys fucking book it away from this shambling, roaring horde of the undead. They're coming on you like a tide, like a tsunami of corpses. And Clementine, your plan bears fruit. They see a lone horse with an unconscious rider coming towards the gate, and you can hear cries of "Open the gate! Open the gate!" and you get through without much issue. Holt and Corgan, on the other hand, start running towards you. Start running towards the gate, and they can see the horde of undead coming towards them, and a lot of them start shouting, "Close the gate! Close the gate!"
Don't you close that damn gate!
I'm gonna kick whoever's gonna try to close the gate.
Make a combat maneuver bull rush attempt.
How much time is there left in this paralysis, by the way?
You have 4 more rounds of paralysis.
Let's see.
You, like, there is one of the guards that goes up to close the gate, and you kick him and you knock him over, and like the paladin who is stationed here takes out a holy symbol, and he starts making an incantation of some variety. And yep, Holt, Corgan, you run past him, and the horde is about to hit the gate like a tide, and he finishes his words in just a moment, and a great bright light emanates out of his holy symbol, and the undead stop. Like, they skitter and slide to a halt, falling over each other and trampling each other, as the ones in front make a frantic escape, and the others like keep moving forward. It's weird. Like, now it's a tide fighting itself. And now the guards quickly close the gate. And he is able to hold this for long enough to give you enough breathing room, and then the undead creatures come to their senses, so to speak, and hurl themselves against the steel, and the guards grab, crossbows and spears and hammers and swords and just start stabbing them from beyond the gate's grasp. And like, there's not a lot they can do to stop that from happening. Like, they're people with weapons do more than people with not weapons, but they're gonna be at this for hours.
Well, since we helped start the problem, we should help deal with the problem.
I'm helping.
Yeah,
At least once I'm able to move.
I'm about to say, Salandra, you come to in a couple of rounds, and like, they don't really pose much of a threat, because like, they're held behind a they're held behind a steady defense. But like, eventually some of them just like, the corpses in the front begin making a sort of ramp that the others can walk up, and they start just walking up and trying to climb over, and there's only like 8 of you here. Yep.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking of.
Yep.
Exactly what I was thinking of.
And one of the guards runs off, and yep.
No, I don't want to think about that. No,
Yep.
No, thank you.
One of the guards runs off, and like, he's got a piece of paper, and he says a group of magic words and fires off some sort of flare of magical light, and before long, like, 30 other guys show up, but holy shit, there's so many of them. Eventually, like, after a couple of minutes of just like frantic stabbing and dear sweet God, get them away from me, and like a few of them that jump over, and like, they make a break for it, and they just get away, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. Eventually, like, there are a couple hundred of them just dead at the gates, and then the other like thousands of them just sort of forget what they're doing. They just look around really confused, like they don't understand why they're here, and they shamble back in. And like, before everyone can even cheer and like get merry, like, letters are being penned and sent off by carrier pigeon, because holy shit, like 100 zombies got loose, and like, the guards that had to abandon their posts to come here are like, we gotta go back. It's a whole turgid affair. And by the end of it, you are all like hot and sweaty and tired.
And probably in that time, I've probably burned through my spells and my flight.
Like you're
guess.
like, if you have any resources, you're out of them. You are all fatigued. And then Corgan comes by. And he's like, I can make that go away. And gives you all a pat on the shoulder, and then you all don't feel tired anymore.
Yes. Fatigued is the best mercy.
I'm more partial to sickened, but I respect fatigued. Well, that was awful.
Yes, it was.
We should probably head back.
I don't understand that. How did we cause that? But it must have been. It could have happened at any time.
It could have happened at any time. Might have been us. Might have been retaliation. We killed 3 morgues. Those things are tough. The big thing that makes morgues especially dangerous is that when they kill people, those people turn into zombies. Fast ones. Not slow like that. The graveyard looks out for its best soldiers, and the morgues are some of its betters. It was angry at us.
So people say
is still in horse form, so kind of paws at the ground a little bit, and looks over at Holt, who is carrying bodies, and kind of, and cocks her horse head over her horse shoulder, like put the bodies on the. I carry them for a little bit.
I do so.
That's why we don't go into the graveyard anymore.
How do you get to Armstrong?
With a heavy guard. With a heavy guard or your head down low.
Well, let's get this done with quick.
Thank you, Corgan. We really couldn't have done that without you.
You're welcome.
Clementine gives him an affectionate horse nuzzle.
Oh God! No! Get off! Don't make me blush. Ugh. And so you head back to Wind City, and that'll do for tonight.
Beautiful.
Whew.
So you're all gonna get 4,600 experience points
Yay.
between the morgue killing and the valiant defense of the gate. And now you
I
understand.
think that's enough to.
Do I hear a ding? Do I hear a ding? Is there a level up?
Yep,
Ding.
I believe.
But yeah, that's what it's like in the graveyard.
Graveyard is awful.
That was a handy level up, Ronald.
And now imagine, so each of these guard stations has 1 holy guardsman and like 9 other guys. If you get rid of those 9 other guys, it's 1 guardsman at every station, every couple hundred feet.
Ronald, is hit points always 5? I mean, always like the median?
Yes. For the sake of not accidentally having incredibly low hit points, I do that. Yes, I think that will do for tonight. I hope you all had a fantastic game, not including technical difficulties.
Aside for the part where I was paralyzed? Cool.
It was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah.